This week, we look at the colonial town of Warren, Rhode Island, where a family looked much different behind closed doors than they seemed to the outside world. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello and welcome to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed. Jimmy, yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmy Whisman.
Thank you folks so much for joining us.
Again.
Oh, again. And we're psyched this week because this is the first official recording in the studio.
This is it.
That we've built, that you've built for us, that you've helped us. Well, you gave us the money and then we took it and bought shit and put it up on the walls and got microphones and stuff. But when we say your Patreon donations and your PayPal donations and all that sort of thing, they help out a lot. We can do things like this.
Right.
From now on, now that we have our own studio, no more. We had a lot of problems with scheduling. Because we were only allowed to use a studio. We used it at a radio station.
We're at the mercy of them.
Only certain time. They were gracious in letting us use it at all. So it's not like we're complaining, but it was very difficult when we could only do it one day here and one day there. And then our schedules, it's just crazy. So now the studio's in my house and we will never be late again. We should never be late or miss anything unless we schedule you ahead of time for that. Everything should be fine. This is awesome. We're super excited. So let's get right to this.
Terrific.
I want to thank everyone, of course, for your iTunes reviews again. They are the engine that keeps this thing going on that side. iTunes has a funky algorithm. We've talked about it. It's not our fault. It's not for our egos.
No.
They have this funky algorithm and it needs to be fed with iTunes reviews. So please do that. It drives us up the charts. And honestly, it's gotten us noticed in a lot of ways that have helped us out a great deal. Like honestly.
Like on a tour and stuff?
Oh yeah. People notice that. They go, oh wow, their listeners are motivated and they're willing to go on iTunes and sign in and do the thing.
If they'll do that, they'll for sure come hang out.
Exactly.
Right.
So thank you guys for doing that. And the people who've done more than that, I want to thank you guys especially. Thank you guys so much. Patreon donors and PayPal donors, like we said, for the studio. If you want to be one of those spectacular people that helps us so much, you can do that. One of our producers by going to patreon.com/crimeinsports. Or you can go over to PayPal, use our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com, and you can rock it out there.
We'd appreciate it.
Every dime is insanely appreciated. Thank you guys so much for everything.
We stretch it.
We really do.
We are frugal as fuck. We are very careful with it.
We are.
I can promise you we're not spending your money on frivolous shit.
No. We're spending it on bills, like electricity, things like that.
You get some gas
food,
with someone.
Food a lot.
Several times.
A lot of food I get and things like that and, bills in general.
I've bought toilet paper.
Well, Jimmy shits a lot.
Sometimes
so
the food has to come out.
It has to. Well, all the time, really, it has to come out. Also, too, you can check us out. Get our merch, get the T-shirts and all that good stuff if you want to do that.
Where is that?
Very easy to find over at shutupandgivememurder.com.
Right.
Exactly. You find it there. That also has links to where you can donate and Patreon and PayPal and all that sort of thing. All that good stuff, but never mind all of that, Jimmy. By the way, at the end, we have to do the disclaimer at this point. But at the end, I have a special disclaimer for assholes.
Uh-oh.
We're not going to do it now. No. Well, we're not going to burden the rest of the people for a few people.
I know what you're going to do.
But feel at the end.
I can already feel it in my heart.
We have a mission statement that we'd like to talk about with you guys. And it's only for very, very few people out there. But I feel like it needs to be said because I feel like we've been misunderstood.
The benefit for the group.
Yes. I feel like we've been misunderstood. And we need to snap a couple people the fuck back into reality about who they're dealing with. That's all we're saying. So you'll see. It's later on. But never mind all that because we do have to do the disclaimer. This is a comedy podcast.
It is.
As much as some people have been upset in the past week about it being a comedy podcast, they weren't even really upset. Some people were just horrified by last week, and that's understandable.
That wasn't even really a comedy aspect of it. It was just the.
I think we did a damn good job. Because
I think we told a very terrible story in a digestible way.
For 10 minutes, it was this horrible, horrible tale. But everything else around it, there were some obviously things that were spotty and kind of depressing and stuff.
Questionable.
But pretty goddamn funny, I'd say. We really made the most out of this weird cult weird situation.
If it wasn't funny, it was at minimum fun.
We tried,
right.
is what we're getting at. So thank you for hanging out with us there. But yeah, this is a comedy podcast. We're comedians.
Right.
We're going to make jokes.
We will.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
We don't make jokes at the expense of the victims or of the victims' families. That's how we roll. We make fun of small towns and police forces that let a murderer go. Sure. We make fun of murderers. Who's mad at that?
They deserve it.
That's it, man. But we don't make fun of the victims or the victims' families, like we said, because we are assholes.
That's true.
But we're not scumbags.
That's right.
And that's what we're doing here. So feel free to enjoy. But we're all on board now. Right. And if you're past the disclaimer, then no complaining.
No, you're in.
Yeah. Sometimes there's murder. Sometimes there's jokes. Right. Deal with it. Let's roll.
You got a quarter bag in your sock too. Let's roll.
Let's do this. And because I know what you're saying from the studio for the first time, you're saying shut up and give me murder.
Give me murder.
Let's do it, my friends. Let's go on a trip, Jimmy.
I'd love to.
Let's do it. You'd love to?
I don't want to leave the confines of this great place.
No, this place is pretty damn cool.
But we do have to go.
We have to go on a trip. Okay. We have to pack up. It's a long trip for us. We're in Arizona.
Yeah.
It's 114 degrees today.
It's fucking miserable.
It's horrible. Let's go somewhere cooler.
Please.
Let's go all the way to Rhode Island. We're going to Rhode Island.
Much cooler.
Yeah, we're going to Warren, Rhode Island, to be specific.
Okay.
We did about 25 episodes ago. We did the other Rhode Island episode, and that's because I'm trying to mix it up.
Where
and
was
fool
that
you guys? So that was Kingston, Rhode Island. That
was
the
right.
cannibal. That was not the cannibal. The kid who. He did eat a little bit of the kid. Yeah. He had
a little bit of the kid.
Had some bones in a box, and that's a crazy ass episode if you listen to that.
Dad
one.
was a cop.
Dad was a cop.
Right.
Yeah, like a reservist cop, and right under everybody's nose.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't search the house. Even though the kid was like in a trunk in the kid's bedroom. Right. It's an insane story. But this is like trying to mix it up a little so you guys can't go, oh, well, they won't do Rhode Island for 40. Yeah. No, we'll do it now.
The only Warren
you never
I know
know when it's coming.
The only Warren I know of is in Michigan. And it's a shithole too.
This isn't terrible. No? This Warren, Rhode Island.
Okay.
It's not awful. It's in the east central part of the state, which it's Rhode Island. Yeah. It's really just a neighborhood. It's a very small state. So to say the east central, it's of what? Of that dot? Who cares? But the town itself, is its own little panhandle that comes off. It's a panhandle. The town's its own panhandle.
Okay.
So you're screwed now. It's not only in a panhandle. It fucking is a panhandle.
Right. Rhode Island itself is like a panhandle.
It has several.
It's shaped very bizarrely.
There's several handles jutting out because it's by the water, and this is one of them, damn it. It's about an hour, 20 minutes to Boston from here. They get all the Boston news and that sort of thing. 4 hours to New York City.
Okay.
So it's, distance to there.
Boston is the shit they claim.
They claim Boston. Like I said, the Red Sox games are on in Rhode Island. Their local media is on. The Boston Nightly News.
There's a lot of Larry Bird jerseys.
Oh, God, yeah. Rhode Island is it's like Boston light. Yeah. It feels like to Boston with the Hamptons or like Long Island, like in the vacation-y areas out east are classy to New York. Yeah. No, it's not that classy, Rhode Island. There's some scummy parts, but there's some nice shit in Rhode Island.
Shit. Okay.
No, it's hard to explain. We'll get to it. It's in Bristol County, zip code 02885, area code 401, 8.7 square miles. This town is, so it's not the little one block town like Rouleau was, where it was, what was Rouleau? Half a square mile or some shit like that.
You could fit it on a flea's ass. Remember?
Exactly. Yeah, the flea's ass town. That's right. This is, it's about 6.2 square miles are on land. So about 2.5 miles of water here. So it's on, like I said, panhandle.
A third of the town is on land, or on water.
Pretty much, yeah. So it's not really the town. It's just water that they're claiming.
Got it.
I assume for some sort of fishing rights. I have no idea.
Gotta be.
The 2016, now, this town has no motto. The website's pretty plain, boring. Just welcome to Warren. That's not a motto. Right. That's nothing. Right. You're not even trying.
No.
But Rhode Island itself
they
is
have
trying.
A motto. Yeah.
They have a new motto.
The whole state.
As of 2016.
All right.
They went to the same cat who made the I Love New York logo and artwork
with the heart and all that shit,
which is stood the test of time. It's been around since the 70s or early 80s.
Not. I know what they did.
So they were like, we need our own I Love New York.
Right.
Make it for us. And this is what this fucking idiot came up with. Okay. I'm sorry, but I Love New York, pretty good.
Right.
It's the artwork that works. It's the same spacing. Right. It's the heart that lines up. It's it's symmetrical. It works.
It's beautiful.
This is, quote...
It spawned stores, for Christ's sake.
It does.
There's a whole store of I Love New York shit.
Well, there's like 400 of them.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Tourist stores, yeah. This, their new thing is, wow, this is their whole state. What were they thinking about this? Quote, Rhode Island, cooler and warmer.
Then what?
Cooler and warmer.
It can't be that.
Cooler and warmer. Not even like an ellipses after that. Nothing. Just cooler and warmer.
Okay.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
I thought you were going to say it was I and then the outline of the state, Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. I'm going to give it the old Rhode Island is what I'm going to do. That's all right. We got a Rusty Medina, and now we're going to have a Rhode Island.
Rhode Island are so hard.
What'd you do last night, Jimmy? This girl, I got to tell you, man.
The fuck out of her.
Let's just say we went to Rhode Island. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna go, whoa, holy shit.
Jiminy Christmas.
You just met this girl, Jimmy. Calm down. Good Lord.
Did you introduce her to your mom yet?
Yeah, Jesus. Poof, I hope she didn't talk to your mom after that. My God, not directly anyway. She'd smell it on her breath.
Yeah.
So I think Rhode Island, that's cooler and warmer. No, they paid probably good money.
But you can't be both of those.
No, and think about it. This was like a whole campaign. They waited for this guy to come up with something like he's going to do it.
Yeah.
They're like, it's going to happen.
Let's confuse the fuck out of everybody. Let's do it.
He called them and was like, I got it. I'm done. And they were like, fucking awesome. Come on in. They brought him into the boardroom, sat him down. He's like, now. And he unveiled cooler and warmer. And they went, they all looked at each other.
They were like, I don't get it either. It must be that genius.
It's great. I figured the boss said, it's great. And everyone else went, yeah, it's good. Yeah, sure. No one wanted to be the first to go, I don't get it.
Some dick that's been to an art museum recently and is like, I recently just now understand somebody really amazing.
Definitely.
And he gives the name and they're like, I don't know who that is.
I don't know.
Like,
yeah.
I know.
Exactly.
Because he's that amazing.
I have a better one for Rhode Island. How about Rhode Island? Don't worry, it'll be over before you know it. How about that? What do you say, guys? I think that's better.
Don't worry, you're almost out of it.
Almost gone. Yeah. You're almost somewhere better.
It's like the motto for an opening comic.
It is.
It's like, if you don't like me, don't worry, you're almost done.
Someone funnier's coming up. I'm going to introduce him. Don't worry.
Don't worry, you're almost to the next state that's probably better.
Probably better. Right. By the way, this episode, everybody, just so everybody knows, we're doing a little bit, you'll notice when you look at it that the time's a little less. We're going a little less because, and I picked a story that wasn't as like insanely complicated as Rouleau. Kind of as we don't want to record like a 2-hour, 45-minute complicated, crazy episode and talk about, ruptured walls of things like we did last week and then have have something mess up in the studio technically because I'm an idiot and I don't know things. You know what I mean? So thank you, Shannon Hernandez, by the way, Shan Man from KUPD in Phoenix.
He's the best person on earth.
He's a wonderful, wonderful human being, despite what he'll try to make you believe. But he gets in and he's a warm son of a bitch and you just want to give him a hug. But you shouldn't hug him because he'll get angry at you. But I can hug him because we're friends. But other people don't hug the guy. But still,
tiny little Spanish guy with long hair, and you look at him and you go,
awesome.
I don't really want to talk to that guy. And then you get his ear, and then
he's the best.
You don't want to stop talking to him.
Yeah, you just want to adopt him as a member of your family. So yeah, we don't want to do a complicated episode and have my idiocy ruin it. So we're going to just do like it's still going to be awesome. Don't worry. It's still crazy, but it's just a shorter amount of crazy. Okay. So anyway, history.
Thankful I didn't build this place.
Oh my God. We'd be on the ceiling. So history of this town. Yeah. Warren was the site of the Indian village of the Sowams.
Of course it was.
Yeah, of course. Everybody knows that, first of all. I need, as if you needed me to tell you.
Why'd you throw that?
And by the way, it was located on the peninsula called Pokanoket.
Yeah.
So, I know you knew that. I heard you talking about that the other day.
It's my favorite.
We were at the radio station. I overheard your conversation, and you were like, "Yeah, the peninsula, the Pokanoket."
I've been going there for years.
You know how that is. That's Mount Hope Neck. That's known as
Mount Hope Neck.
Mount Hope Neck. Okay. First explored by the Europeans Edward Winslow and Stephen Hopkins. Back in 1621.
Those are some white folks.
Those are very white folks, and a little bit about these very white folks. Edward Winslow was a separatist who traveled on the Mayflower. Okay. So basically, a religious lunatic is what he was. There's so much so that they said, you got to get the fuck out of England. And he was like, fine, I'll just go over to the other place and, live in mosquito awful places in the woods and the swamps and hack my way through it because I'm that insane.
In a jacket that's too short for me.
And is made of wool in the summer.
The weirdest thing. Their clothes were dumb.
Oh, tiny. What about the buckles? Do we need to discuss? Let's talk about buckles, Jimmy.
They wore shorts that were too short, too.
That's ridiculous.
They did wear shorts.
That's hilarious. Yeah. To see a man of that, and also nobody showered back then. No. The ball smell that was coming out of a short back then.
It was fantastic.
It had to be just fragrant as shit.
The Indians Indians knew you were coming.
Oh, they could smell
the Native Americans.
I smell their balls.
I smell white
from over
people.
the hills. I smell white people's balls. So he was one of the senior leaders on the Mayflower, this cat. So not bad.
Senior leader, so he
on
was
the
one of
Mayflower.
the ones standing on the front of the boat.
Absolutely. Also, him and his brother Gilbert signed the Mayflower Compact.
Oh.
So this guy is like OG America, I would say. I mean, he's probably killed a shitload of Indians. We'll put it that way. Oh, fucking G America. He was also Stephen Hopkins, the other guy. He was the only Mayflower passenger who had been like out of like Europe before. He'd been shipwrecked in Bermuda in 1609, and also
that's your guy.
I also went to
That's who you're gonna have be your leader.
That's the one.
He crashed a boat once. Let's put him on the front.
Hopefully, he's learned something from that. Also, he was at Jamestown, Virginia, in May of 1610, and then he went all the way back there, and then came all the way back here. He left in 1614, went back to England, and then hopped on a ship and came back. So that's a lot of traveling.
That's too much.
I don't want to drive to L.A. and that's like 5.5 hours away.
Floating.
He's just float for weeks.
There's not even a motor on that boat.
For weeks.
That sounds horrible.
No Netflix. It's very boring. You can't even watch The Wire as you should be doing, Jimmy. At least that would give you time on the ship to watch The Wire, but then you couldn't because
or The West, which is a fantastic
Or
documentary.
The West, which you should also be watching, and Deadwood while you're at it. Okay. So anyway, after they got there, the Plymouth colony, they established a trading post around this area here, and Winslow and a guy named John Hampton saved the life of
founder of the Hampton Inn.
Founder the Hampton Inn. That's the guy. OG is shit.
Yeah,
they put the first Hampton Inn up in 1650. He said, "We'll leave the candle burning for you." There's that red roof.
I think that's Motel 6.
It's one of
those shit hotels.
All of those shitholes can interchange their fucking slogans because they all just. There's no bugs. That should be their slogan. We don't have bugs here. Good enough.
With a wink and a nod, by the way.
Like we shouldn't.
We
have
don't
bugs
think
here.
we have bugs.
Last time I checked, there's no bugs here. Sort of.
When we turned the pillows down a couple months ago,
I didn't see any bugs. So your own risk is what I'm getting at here. So, anyway, these two saved the life of an important Native American in the area, and kind of gained a lot of them as an ally after that.
Got it.
They had some medicine from England. I don't know what medicine was back then, what that consisted of, but something helped this guy, and they were like, "Holy shit, you're magic! Oh my God, these people are tremendous." Warren was ceded to Rhode Island from Massachusetts. The area where Warren was originally Massachusetts, and they were like, "How small can this state possibly be? Give them some, give them this fucking panhandle."
Is that what everybody did? Was just kind of sprinkle a little bit towards their way?
That's kind of like
everybody
the
around
states.
it. Yeah,
I think so. It's so
Rhode
weird
Island's
how
so goddamn small.
It's all little compromises, all these borders in these areas.
Yeah.
So it's a hard thing to say. It's easier to deal with out west, where you're just like big square. Okay, they carved it out in Washington. There wasn't like literally two people putting up a fence and the other one arguing with them about it. Just,
Nevada,
this is my state. No, it's not. It's
Nevada got kind of fucked. They lost a quarter there.
Yeah,
so.
well, most of it's owned by the government and is a nuclear wasteland, so it really doesn't matter anyway. Nobody
got
wants
fucked
that
all the
shithole.
way around.
Yeah, nobody wants Nevada. That's why they're like, the only way we can get people to come here is
let
with
the mob build
casinos and naked girls. That's the only way we're doing. No, who else is coming here? Honestly, they're going to get radiation poison. They can watch nuclear bombs go off. Perfect. Get Celine Dion and Britney Spears a residency, and we'll get tons of people. Yeah. Rita Rudner in there, and everything's going to be better. So it's named, it's seated there, 1747. The town was named Warren after a British naval hero,
of course,
Admiral Sir Peter Warren.
Oh,
Admiral Sir, and an admiral.
Right.
That's like being a doctor, Dr. Mister, and Dr. Jimmy Whisman, Esquire. Wow,
Dr.
A lot of school.
Captain Whisman.
Dr. Captain Whisman. So we have Admiral Sir Peter Warren was on a journey with the Captain Dr. Whisman. And this was at the time of this whole thing. Barrington was unified with Warren until it again. Barrington's another town until it was again separated in 1770. This became a big whaling port, and so a lot of whaling going on. That's where you get the Hartford whalers, because people used to fucking whale around there.
That's fucked up.
It is fucked up. Well, back then they were like, "There's plenty of them." Shit, I don't know. I see whales all the time. Like
one of them should serve whatever purpose it is that people need whales for.
Yeah,
one of them.
Well,
That's a fucking lot of whale.
There's a lot. Yeah, it's plenty.
Have you ever eaten whale?
I've never had a whale
That's my
steak.
Point. That's my point. How many people have eaten or needed anything out of whale?
I will go with the whale sashimi, please. Thank you. It's never happened once.
Y'all got deep fried whale tacos.
Y'all got
here?
them. Oh, that's good. That's good. I
get humpback tacos.
I like putting
please.
cocktail sauce on mine. I make it like fillets of whale. It's good. Quail.
I got some Worcestershire for my shampoo.
Oh, you can do it. It's so good. It's so good now. Warren was the original home of Brown University, which is an Ivy League school. Yeah. It was founded in 1764 as the college in the English colony of Rhode Island and Providence Plantations, which isn't that catchy.
No.
And they went from that to Brown.
Yeah.
Too much.
Right.
Brown. Shit. Not enough. Fuck it. Just leave it. It's better. We can't keep changing.
No.
We can't keep changing the name.
No.
We can't keep doing it. That's not going to happen here.
And it's predominantly black, am I correct?
What is Brown?
Brown?
No,
Isn't it? No.
Brown's an Ivy League school.
I realize that.
It is predominantly probably Asian at this moment in time, I would assume. It's probably a lot of white legacy kids and then a shitload of Asian kids that are really smart, I would assume.
I know like 6 people I can count on my hands that have graduated from there, and they're all black
6 people that graduated from Brown?
Yeah, no,
Who?
all black guys.
Who?
Black guys that I know.
Wait a second. Hold on. Back up a second. Now, we live in Phoenix, I just want to say. There's approximately 26 black people in the entire city. There's not a lot of black people. You know 6 of them, and they all graduated from Brown. Do they all know each other?
Probably.
No, I don't mean it in that way. Or is this like a family?
No.
Is it like, it says this guy has 3 cousins and his 2 brothers?
They work for the companies that I know.
Okay.
They're
so
engineers.
It's a work thing.
Yeah.
It's not like you met a guy at a bar randomly, and then 10 years later you another guy at a bar, and they all just happen to go to Brown.
No, my name's Darius, and I graduated from Brown. No, that's not how it works.
That's so weird. That's still not that they're black, just that you know 6 people that work. The fact that they're black just makes the odds more because there's less black people, so the odds are just shorter in general. If you knew 6 white people that graduated from Brown, or 6 Asians, or 6 anybody, I'd go, huh?
That's I don't know. 6 small people. My circle is, though, that made me believe that Brown was predominantly black. That I know 6 black dudes, and they all graduated from Brown. And I was like, oh, it must be a black college because I'm stupid and they're brown people.
I don't know 6. Oh, like Flipper's a dolphin. I get it. I understand. Like Flipper Anderson plays the Dolphins.
That's how stupid my brain is.
It just goes to the first thing.
You graduated from there too. It must be a predominantly black college. That's good for you guys. But I knew it was Ivy League. I knew it was an amazing school.
Well, Brown was supposed to be the Baptist answer to Yale, Harvard, Princeton, which was Presbyterian, and Episcopalian, Penn, and Columbia. So all the other Ivy League schools were like those religions. They were like, oh no, we're going to be the Baptists.
We're going to make our own
of this whole shit here. The decline of the whaling industry, and in the 19th century, obviously, when that kind of people started to frown on that a little bit, they went to textile manufacturing after that. Nowadays, Warren making clothes.
Okay,
fabric is textile.
That's what I thought. But I just wanted to clarify.
Thing, maybe not clothes, but whatever.
I assumed rugs.
Well, maybe
tapestries and
you
shit.
Can make a tapestry.
Did you see? Isn't that textiles?
I think that would be a textile. It's a rug.
That's some sort of knitting, whether it's a big fat needle or a little needle.
I think it'd just be something made from fibers into something else. I don't know the exact textile definition, but that's about it.
So good.
Nowadays, Warren is home to waterfront businesses, that sort of thing. A lot of like seafood. They're pulling shit out. There's marine businesses. It's very water centric here. They have a lot of people from this town. My favorite is an American writer for a kids writer, and I just love his name. His name is Hezekiah Butterworth. That's my favorite name ever.
What the fuck is that name?
I have no idea.
Is that not what am I thinking? The fucking guys that have no electricity. Is it not one of those guys?
Amish?
Is it a Quaker or an Amish guy?
I don't think he's a writer of books for young people and a poet, so I guess you don't need lights for that.
No.
Sure, he could be Amish. He
just writes pencils out of graphite.
He just writes during the day. That's all. It's all good. And dips his quill in his ink, and that's what he does here. Also, Elizabeth Lizzie Murphy, who's the queen of baseball. She was the first woman to play pro baseball, competing with male athletes. She it's crazy. She had this girl was a badass. She would
when?
This was the 1800s. She was born in 1894, so this is like 1915. By age 15 she was playing on the local like amateur leagues, but they were like, with all men.
Right.
And she kept playing professional baseball with guys for her whole career.
But she's a white girl.
She's like a farm girl.
That's bananas.
Yeah, she's like a farm girl.
She can't do that today.
She's like Gina Davis in the League of Her Own. That's basically who we're dealing with.
She couldn't do it today, is my point. Like,
oh no.
There are 8-year-olds in Cuba that would fucking smash her.
Well, not just her, just any American.
Any girl that wants to play.
I'm not even talking girl. I'm just talking people born outside of Cuba. Right. It doesn't matter their gender.
Amazing at baseball.
Absolutely. So here in 1800, there was 1,473 people here. Okay. So it was already cooking by not bad. Nowadays, 10,487, which is down about 8% since 1990. Median age here is about 5 years older than normal. It's about 42 and a half. Female and male is like exactly on the normal average of them. 50-50, but it's like 50.74 female. It's whatever. Married population is about average. This is like your average little nice town. 10,000 people. Yeah. It's not too big. It's not too small. Right. All of the numbers are like right on track. Okay. We'll get to the race. That's a little skewed. Yeah. Race of this town, Rhode Island. Yeah. What are you thinking, Jimmy?
Insanely Cuban.
Lots of Cuban. Yeah. It's a Cuban baseball.
Right.
That's where they all go. Right. It's all Cuban baseball players. It's all it is. It's a refuge for Cuban baseball players.
Lots of Cuban sandwiches being made.
It is actually 96.62% white.
My Christ.
It's excessively white.
That's a lot of white.
That's on purpose white. Mm-hmm. That's like, you can't do that by accident, I feel like. Black people know it exists.
You price people out at
There's
that
black
point,
people in Philly and Boston and New York triangulating this place. They know it's there.
They don't go.
They don't go there, except for the 6 people that you know.
From Brown.
But Brown isn't here. It's in Providence.
And they go in and get the fuck out.
Yeah. It's not. They moved it to a better town. Don't worry. But 96.62% white, like we said. That's very white. 0.08% black.
That's almost nothing.
Nothing. 0.0% Asian.
How the fuck do you do that?
There's almost 11,000 people here.
Yeah.
How is there no black people and no like that is weird.
And Asians make up how many percent of the world?
Well, most of,
that's
but
my point.
A third.
How the fuck do they figure that out?
In this country, they're 5%, and here they're 0.
Are they really?
5%.
That's
here,
small?
Yeah, that's all. 5%.
I'm shocked.
It's growing. Why
am I shocked?
I have no idea.
I don't know. That's fucking bananas.
Because you picture Asians in large groups, I feel like, from the photographic evidence you've seen. Not in real life. You've just seen a movie where you're like, Asians travel in large packs. There's lots of them. It's just, and black people go to Brown, and only black people.
But when I have seen Asian people, they've been in large groups.
That's sometimes.
So maybe they just stick together.
Sometimes it's
make it look like it's a larger population.
What do you think? Just going around in a circle?
Yeah.
So you
they're like, we're still here, fuckers.
It's the same group, but you think it's a different group every time, like a Civil War flanking maneuver, like the South's like the rebel cavalry trying to trick the North and having them circle back. So, holy shit, they have so many guys.
Again.
Oh my God.
There's some more.
It's 2.41% Hispanic, which is just not any Hispanic people. Not a lot here. 82.43% of the people here are religious.
That's 82. Way too
That's
much.
The most we've ever had by far.
That's way too much.
74.21% Catholic.
Wow.
Catholics, the Baptists of the North.
That is
truly.
A shitload.
Holy shit.
That's 7,000 Catholic people.
It's over. 7,500, almost 8,000. 0.0% LDS, which is, you don't see that much nowadays. 0.93% Jewish, not a lot there. 0.00 Islam. So just Catholic. That's it. 61% Democrat in this town, about 37% Republican, which they're that religious, but that's the East Coast. Religious doesn't go with political affiliation back east. It's not the same.
Doesn't mix and match.
No. Unemployment rate in this town, it's a little lower than average, about 4.8%. Average household income, median household income is $53,706, which is about $200 more than the national average. It's right on the national average. So all the stats are so average except for race and religion in this town, which are a little out of whack there. There's more jobs in like the manufacturing industry here. They have that going on. Textile, as we talked about here. Also a little more healthcare than normal, that sort of thing. Cost of living, normally 100 is average par, that sort of thing. Here it is 124 out of 100. So a little high on the cost of living.
The average amount of money And a little bit
higher.
And
a little bit higher. Housing here is 137 out of 100. So it's $253,900 is the average home cost house. Here. Yeah, it's about 185 in the rest of the country. Okay. So it's a little expensive, but if you don't care and you need to be in Warren, Rhode Island,
you gotta be away from the blacks, Mexicans, Jews, and Puerto
You're like,
Ricans.
There isn't an Asian to be seen.
Right.
If I had a telescope, I'm going to Warren, Rhode Island. We have for you the Warren, Rhode Island Real Estate Report. Your average 2-bedroom apartment here is going to go for about $940, which is actually cheap if you consider it's lower than the national average, but yet it's a higher home cost, so it's actually not bad. I found a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,388 square foot house. A little rundown. Yeah. Needs some work. The outside looks a little weathered. $179,900 for that. I also found a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,326 square foot house here. This one's a lot nicer, fixed up.
Sure.
This is like if if somebody flipped it, it's like the same house but flipped $285,000.
Okay.
So you can see that's about your average home there. Then I found a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,068 square foot house, but it is right on the water.
Yeah.
Your backyard is a bay or an ocean or some shit. It's nice. $949,000.
There you go.
So you're going to pay to live anywhere near the water.
$1 million for 2,000 square feet.
2,000 square feet, babe. $1 million on the water. Things to do here. Oh, boy. Okay. It's just overflowing with things to do.
It's whaling and lobster shit.
Oh, man. The annual Warren Folks Fest.
Oh.
Folks Fest. On the website,
Your Folks Fest? Or like
somebody.
Yeah.
Folks, meaning not white folk, or just white folks, meaning not blacks or Asians, is what that's winky for not blacks and Asians. It says on the website, quote, "This year's festival is sure to be fun and exciting."
Sure it is.
I fucking hope so. Yeah. Why else are you advertising this to me? There's local artists have their art, games, and super fun kids craft table. Gotta have that.
Fun.
Super fun, it's saying. Comedy from local and national comedians.
I doubt it.
What fucking dregs do you think they culled to find
How many
that?
times have you seen national acts and then you're like, that dude
national
lives here.
Act? No, that guy lived in LA for a while. He had 2 lines on a sitcom once, used that as his credit to middle at a bunch of shitty funny bone chains in the Midwest, and now he's a national headliner, a national comedian, and he's here getting paid $400 and staying at the Red Roof Inn.
Phoenix national comics are comics that went back home to wherever they're from and had all their friends and family come out to some bullshit show, and then they moved back here and they're like, I did shows in Cincinnati and Chicago. I'm a big deal.
Oh my God.
No, you're fucking not.
And of course there's music, Jimmy.
Yeah.
This is what's great is they don't list the comedians at all. Fuck them, but they list like 45 musicians they're going to have there, none of which I've heard of. So it's not like they listed famous people. The crime rate in this town, what we're interested in, property crime is about super low. Lowest I've seen, a third of the national average.
Really?
So they will not steal your shit.
Your car's safe.
You can leave your doors unlocked in this place. It seems safe that way. Okay. But maybe not because maybe your car door's unlocked. When you're in your house, you might want to maybe lock the doors because it's the violent crime, murder, rape, robbery, assault, the Mount Rushmore of crime, obviously, is about 15% under the national average. So they'll still jack you once in a while, but they won't steal your shit.
A little less frequent.
They're just going to knock you around and then leave you alone after that. So that's how that works. Let's talk about some people who ended up in this town, shall we? Let's get to these
Ended
people.
up in this town. Let's go.
All right, let's talk about James Soares.
Soares.
Soares. Okay, I saw that look on your face. Like, how does this work?
That's gross.
Soares. James Soares. Like, that's a terrible name.
That's the worst. I don't care how you spell it.
I'm sure you can say Soares maybe, but it's Soares.
No,
I'm sorry.
I don't care if you put a P in front of it. It's still gross.
Everyone's calling it you Soares.
Yeah.
What's up, Soares? Which sounds like a bad mob nickname. Hey, it's Jimmy Saws over there. How you doing? Hey, Jimmy Saws.
It was an ingrown hair. Leave me alone.
You know Jimmy Saws. What do you mean, which one? The guy with all the fucking saws. What do you think he is? Who the fuck do you think I'm talking about? His name's Jimmy covered in fucking saws. What do you want? Jimmy Soars.
It's the guy with the scabs on his fucking face.
He's got fucking scabs all over the place. What do you think we're talking about here?
Right.
Look at it.
They ooze and bleed. They're
gross. Everywhere. It's disgusting. So he was born in Fall River, Massachusetts. He's the son. His parents are named Frank and Evelyn, which soars. Her original name was Zompa.
Yeah.
Zompa.
They should have stuck with that.
Almost as bad as Soars, but still.
It's close.
She had to think about that one for a while. She's like, Zompa? Well, I'm tired of being last alphabetically.
Right.
That's really fucking irritating. So I'll take Soars. I'll be... Fuck it. I'll be Evelyn Soars. That's
gross.
Fine.
God, it's fucking horrible.
Call me Evie Soars.
What did they do for work?
And then Frankie Soars, his father.
What did he
Frankie
do?
Soars. I don't know what Frankie Soars did.
He didn't say?
No, this was like in the...
Can't be doctor.
No.
Don't go to Dr. Soars.
No, but this is...
He should be a gynecologist.
He's born in like 1900. He should be a guy. That's not
That'd be the greatest.
He should be the guy that goes into like the bunny ranch brothels and shit like that and checks all the ladies out. Dr. Soars is here. Come on, everybody get going.
Giving the girls a clean bill of health.
There you go.
Whether he's a porn doctor or the bunny ranch, either way.
Do that, or like a guy who works like an NBA locker room.
Yeah,
like hey, Dr. Soars is here. He checks for VD. The other guy works on your back and makes sure everything. Then Dr. Soars comes in once a month and makes sure you didn't pick anything up on the road. Provided by the team as a service for a happier home life.
Free service.
Free service. He comes in. All right, guys, line your peckers up. Let's go. Dr. Saws the pecker check is here. Let's do it. Line them up.
Put it on the basketball. I don't want to touch it.
Unravel them. Let's go. Lay it across my desk. It's a basketball team. Lay it across my desk. Right. Let's do it. So anyway, cheap dick jokes aside.
Yep.
This James Soars, he has a brother. He has two brothers. Actually three. What am I talking about?
Christ.
Paul, John, David, and Frank. Four brothers.
Evelyn and Frank made 4 Soars.
No.
Okay.
James had 4 brothers.
Okay.
James Soars had 4 brothers.
Okay.
Evelyn's Frank and Evelyn had
5 Soars.
Frank and Evelyn had 5 Soars. 5 man Soars.
5 male Soars.
5 male dick Soars.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of Soars.
Yeah.
A lot of Soars. All men, too. Yeah. So the chromosomes are working there.
I have a theory that the harder the fucking, the more testosterone in the sex makes a male baby. Does that make sense? Like the softer, the like more loving sex makes the female baby. I'm confident of it.
It's more like just take a handful of like wet Rice Krispies and throw it at the wall and see which one hangs on the longest.
Draw an M
like that's
or
more,
a W.
I feel like that's more about...
You wouldn't know the difference. Never mind.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, what's his name here? Jimmy Soars.
Yeah.
He graduates from Warren High School in 1965.
He has a brother, Frank.
There's a junior. There's a Frank Soars Jr.
There's a junior Soars.
Yeah, there's more juniors in this story, too. As we all know from crime and sports and from a lot of small-town murder. Right. Never name your kid Junior. No. There will be problems for either you or him. One of the two.
It's coming.
It happens. So, he's got 4 brothers. He comes from this family. He graduates Warren High School, class of 65.
Jesus.
So he's old school Warren. Yeah. He likes hunting, canoeing. He's that kind of guy. He's a man's man kind of a guy. He's a motorcycle enthusiast back then.
Yeah.
Like we've talked about, I think it was last week we talked about. Yeah, those they were rugged dudes that were kind of on the outskirts of polite society at that point.
Wind and rain, who gives a shit?
Yeah, and he liked hunting and canoeing, and he's a tough kind of a guy here.
Excessively white.
He is excessively white. He's from Rhode Island, hunts canoes and rides motorcycles. I feel like
he's
that's
my kind of guy.
He's very white, ladies and gentlemen. My partner, my co-host Andrew Jackson, just said, "I'll just let you dig your way out of that one. I don't know what you're talking about there." I believe you were talking about the canoeing and the motorcycle enthusiasm rather than the whiteness, I believe.
The adventure sounds
Remember,
great.
Jimmy knows 6 black guys who all went to... Every black guy Jimmy knows, not only does he know 6 black guys, but they're all Ivy League graduates.
They all went to Brown.
Well, I don't know 2 people who graduated from Ivy League schools.
I'm gonna give these guys your phone number and have them call you and be like, James, yo.
I'll talk to them about it. That's fine. But I believe that they did. I don't. It's just odd that you've known any 26 people that graduated from Ivy League schools.
They're engineers.
That's true. You work for the electric company. Yeah. Never mind. I've never worked for anybody smart.
Dudes.
I've always done dumb things.
They all make way more money than me.
Good for them. So he ends up meeting a lady, James, his last name aside, which must have been tough.
Yeah.
He said, hey, how you doing, James?
I'm James. What's your last name? I don't have one.
What's your last name? You want to go out tonight? It's like ortho last week. It's not ortho, I'll tell you that much.
Minus the pedic money, right.
Minus the no pedic money. No pedic money, no sores money. Right. Unless your dad is Dr. Dick Sore, and then you got something.
That would be the greatest first name.
I wish one of his brothers was named Sores. We have Paul, John, David, and Frank. Not even Glenn James. Nothing that's going to go there. But Marion, he meets Marion. Marion Sylvia, he meets, or Silva. I am fucking names up. I sound like you doing shout-outs tonight. Marion Silva is this woman's name that he meets. She's a little bit younger than him, about 7-8 years younger than him. She's born in Providence. Her parents are Frank and Florence Silva, which sound.
Are they Italian or that seems
Frank
something
Frank Silva. Yeah. That's a Guinea.
It's an ethnic name.
Yeah. Her father was probably a bad guy.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, her father. And there's actually insinuations of that. Some questionable shit that we hear about later on of whether or not her father abused her as a child, physically and sexually. It was brought up that he did, but who knows what happened.
She's saying she was raised Catholic.
She's saying she went to the church every Sunday. No, by her father, not the father. Not the father, her father. It's
Close
different.
enough.
Yeah, that's different. So not all Catholic fathers are molesting kids, but the father.
Yeah,
we know that.
The Catholic father.
Yeah, that guy, for sure. So she has a couple of brothers and a sister. Also, Frank's the father, Frank, brother Frank, same as James has a father Frank and a brother Frank. Yeah. So they both have that in common. I don't know if that was something to talk about. She graduated from Bristol High School in 1972. So, like I said, a little bit younger than her. Yeah. She works for a long time as an administrative assistant at the Regine Printing Factory in Providence. Okay. So, I mean, she does that there. She answers phones. She does that. She worked as a teacher's assistant for the Bristol Warren Regional School, also the YMCA Children's Program.
Okay.
She's a nice lady, this lady. She graduated 72. They're an older as we go into time. Yeah. Nice lady.
I got to do some digging on it, but the YMCA was originally founded on religious fucking founders,
it's the
right?
Young Men's Christian Association. Right. So yeah, I believe so.
Isn't that fucking bizarre?
Everything was a religious thing in the beginning, because that was the only before we did anything as a society, like any socialist programs, and that everything is fucking Social Security. So everything's a socialist program. Before we did any of those programs, and I'm not saying that's bad or good or whatever, but this is not fucking political. No, is what I'm saying. Fuck you for trying to make it that. Before we did any of that, the only people who did outreach shit like that was the church. That was the only people who were organized with a charity.
The only people that gave a shit about society in the name of religion,
were just trying to get you to
something off.
They were just trying to get you to be a member, so then you donate to them. It's all a scam.
Spend money to make money.
They were
James.
Scamming rather than it. So yeah, sorry, we're not into religion, so that's how that works. James over here, James Soares, was a union steward and a member of local laborers 721 for 20 years. Okay, so it's a blue collar guy.
What labor do they say?
I don't know what he does.
Okay.
He's a union steward is all we know here. Right. He's a member of the NRA. He likes his guns. Also Ducks Unlimited and the
What
East.
is that?
I assume a group of people that shoot ducks.
I assume too, but that's a fucking crazy name for a group.
Ducks Unlimited.
Yeah.
Also the East Bay Rod and Gun Club. So he likes to hunt. Yeah. He's just kind of a Rhode Island redneck, basically, is what he is. He takes his motorcycle to go hunt and canoe and shoot shit and talk to other guys about shooting shit. Yeah. I feel like, and what they're going to use to shoot shit. Right. I feel like that's not a lot else to talk about with this guy. And also, have you seen my new motorcycle? Right. That's that and that and that. That's all there is.
Beers.
Want beer?
Want beer? Want beer?
Beer? So, I feel like he 100% has never drank a beer that did not have a koozie around it, ever. It's never happened. Every beer.
He may have invented it. He may have been like, my hand is too warm on this beer.
It's just like melded to his hand at this point. He can't get it Like
the foam has his handprint in it.
When a 600-pound person like doesn't get off the couch for like 4 months and then they have to surgically remove them from the couch because they've grown into the couch, that's what happened with the beer koozie.
He has bed sores on his palm of his hand.
Yeah, but he keeps it in his left hand, so he still has a nice firm shake with his right. You know what I mean? He's that kind of guy. He's that kind of cat. They end up having a few children. They get married over some time in the mid 70s, and they end up having some children. They have a daughter named Dawn Vieira. Later on, she marries a man named Vieira.
Gotcha.
She's Dawn, and also Sherry. They have a daughter named Sherry, and then they also have a son in 1984. So some of those chromosomes finally got through.
Finally,
he's thinking he's having these daughters. He's thinking, Jesus Christ, all my parents can have is boys, and all I can have is girls. Yeah. But then they have a son, James Jr. Bad sign, as we know. Don't name your kid Junior.
Never.
Terrible thing to do. Every criminal athlete that we know in crime and sports names their kid Junior.
Somehow they figure it out.
And then does 20 horrible things that we talk about.
Horrible things.
Unthinkable, terrible things. They live in a nice little house. It's a little house from what I've seen. I got the address and looked it up, and it says it's only about 750 square feet and a 2-bedroom, which I don't think is possible. It has to be, they had to have knocked the house down or something and have something else in its place now, or I got the address wrong or something. But it's on Baltimore Avenue in Washington, in Warren. The neighbor said that there was always 6 or 7 people living in the home. That's why I said I don't see 6 or 7 people living in a 2-bedroom, 700 square foot home.
Right.
That's difficult to pull off. And there was always a lot of cars out front. Yeah. It was that house on the street. I had a friend when I was a kid, my friend Charlie, who's a really great guy, really good dude. I don't know if he listens to the show or not, but saw him a couple of years ago. Great dude. Yeah. Anyway, he's a Jeep guy. He's a hardcore Jeep dude. Yeah. So you'd like him a lot. Anyway, Charlie had that house on the street that was like, it was kind of questionable who was living there at the time. There was always 45 cars out in front. Like, you just look at the house and go, oh, there's drugs in there.
Yeah.
Like, there's definitely.
The cars ran?
There's definitely drugs in there. No, there would just be all sorts of different people with cars there. Like, so there was always like, there's got to be 15 people in the house at all times. It's that
My
house.
mom's second husband had, we were in the house with a shell car. Does that make sense? Like, an old Camaro was in our driveway. Yeah. No wheels, no engine, just the wiring for the car and the car itself.
Yeah.
And it sat there until my mom divorced that fuck, and then they drug it out of there on a flatbed.
It's like that's like a white trash swing set. I feel like at that point.
And it's true, because as a kid, I used to crawl in that and then just sit in there.
Of course you're going to play in that.
Pretend like you're driving.
Rather than a swing set, they'd give a kid that. Yeah. They'd be like, yeah, go sit in that fucking car.
This guy's name is James Soares.
James Soares.
Yeah, Jimmy is short for a dick, so he's kind of Dick Soares.
Dick Soares, yeah, sort of, yeah. I was trying not to bring up the fact. I didn't want to
do that either, because
that hurts both of us. Hurts both of us, and we've been avoiding that our entire lives. So thanks, Jimmy, for outing us.
You fucked it all up. It used to be great.
It was fine.
Snoop Dogg ruined the whole fucking thing.
You got to turn it and use it as a power thing. That's
Jimmy,
right.
Joke about your mama, whatever. Here's a Snoop joke about your mama, you fucking jerk.
You fucking. He's got no joke.
No,
he just
no
said,
joke. You're a fucking jerk.
Here's a joke about your mama, fucking jerk. And then he took the basketball and said, I'm taking it, I'm going home. You can't play with it anymore. It's mine. You left.
Fucking jerk.
Fucking jerks. It's my basketball. You guys think you're going to play it and be a jerk to me? I don't think so.
The whole point is go home and be better tomorrow, Snoop.
I'm taking my bat with me. No, you're not playing baseball either. They're known as very social people, the Soares, James and Marion.
Yeah.
The social Soares, obviously. Say clearly.
God, it's so easy.
Spreading like
these fuckers.
They like to throw barbecues at their home. Jesus Christ, too. They also had some problems. This is what I mean. Yeah. First of all, your name is Soares.
Yeah.
When your name is Soares, I feel like you need to be extra careful about what you project into the world.
Everything forever.
Yeah. So anyway, these two are not like that.
No.
They have some problems, and this is in 1986. This is while they have 3 kids, which is. Once you have 3 kids, you got to stop with the fucking around. Yeah. You got to stop. I get it that you want to have everybody over and you want to have barbecues every weekend. It's great to be social, and there's nothing wrong with kids growing up with friends around and stuff like that. But it's a lot more chance your kid's going to get molested by one of your weirdo friends or something else is going to happen to him. But that's fine. Let's say you know these people for years and none of them are going to diddle your kids at all. You're still having problems when you're the house with 18 cars out front. Yeah. You do things like, I don't know, get arrested in 1986 for James and Marion for drug possession charges. The couple, as a married couple with 3 kids in the house, the police raided their home. Oh my God. So this wasn't like got pulled over and had something in his pocket. This was a police raid on the house, which means there's an investigation and they look into shit. That takes a while to get a raid going.
There was a stakeout and shit.
They looked at some shit. They had something.
Some cops sat in a car overnight and stared at your house.
Many times, probably. Yeah. Somebody
and took notes
and got people to tell on you for shit and all sorts of things. They recovered in this raid cocaine, Valium, Ativan, the tranquilizer, weed. Drug paraphernalia, a .357 Magnum, and $1,350 cash that was bundled up with a bunch of drugs.
Yeah, that sounds like
that's drug money.
Yeah,
because you could say like, well, $1,350, that's not that much money. Well, if it's stored, I normally don't store like, I work for the union and I get a paycheck and I put that money with my cocaine. Like that's not the place you put it. Yeah, bundle it up with the drugs. Well, yeah, that's where I keep my money.
That's how you label it as drug money.
Yeah,
that's
you put it with drugs. Usually, what you want to do if you're a drug dealer is you want to get that money and take it as far away from the drugs as possible and separate those two things.
And then put the weapons even further away from that.
It's kind of like on The Wire, when they come up to buy the drugs, you get handed the shit, you pay one guy and then walk around the corner and another guy hands you the fucking drugs. That
brilliant.
way one guy has drugs, one guy has money.
That's brilliant.
No guy has both.
Keeps it all separate.
Yes, and then the guy with the gun, he keeps his gun like under his stoop or some shit over here. That way he can run away and
keep it all
have
separate.
Plausible deniability.
Right.
Everything's separate. They have a ground stash in the back. You'd know this shit if you watch The Wire.
It's fucking
amazing. You wouldn't know it though.
Sounds like the best TV show ever written.
It's pretty goddamn good.
To the internet.
It's pretty goddamn good. Fuck the internet. According to me, Jimmy. The internet can eat shit.
They vote on it all the time. I keep seeing it. Still the best show. And
that's because it is.
Haven't seen it.
Because it is. God damn it. Jesus Christ. Right. I swear to God, I want to get... This is my new goal.
Okay.
I want to get very, very successful doing these shows and doing other things because we have other things in the works right now. Different. We're going to wait till you see. But I want to get so successful, Jimmy, that I can reach out to whoever I want. Okay?
Somebody on the show?
Do you understand?
I understand.
The fact that I am going to have... that I want so badly to have Omar, to have Michael K. Williams, who's a brilliant actor, by the way, and not like his character at all, but still, I want him in full gear, in full regalia, with his shotgun, knocking on your fucking door, like he's coming for your G-Pack. That's what I want.
Okay.
You have no idea. Be like, have him just sling that shotgun up and be like, you want to watch The Wire, motherfucker? And have you just be like, okay, I think I will.
I'm like, Princess, turn off, nailed it.
I think I will, thank you. Kids, we're watching The Wire now. Just put it on.
Turn off, nailed it. Knock it off.
While maintaining eye contact with him and just wait, kids, Daddy, shut up. Just do it.
Haters back off can wait.
You don't understand, okay? It's not good.
This is the shit I have to watch because I've got an 8-year-old. She hijacks my TV.
I know. That's tough. Goddamn kids,
it's brutal, man.
I know.
I could sit there all night long and be like, no, I'm watching The Wire. And she'll give me a fucked up face. And then I've got to watch Nailed It.
You got to watch it overnight.
Yeah, wow.
Which Nailed It's pretty funny, though.
It is a
Sarah loves
show.
that shit. And it's good.
Great show.
I was like, I don't want to watch this. And after 2 minutes, I'm like, this is hilarious. These people are awful. I love this. Thank you.
They're baking a sushi cake that looks nothing like sushi.
I should never doubt her when she's good stuff. She knows her shit.
That show is fucking great.
That is a great fucking show.
I'm so thrilled with it.
It's a good show. And that's good.
And the chick that hosts it is a comedian.
She's funny.
She's great.
She's really funny.
Nicole Byer, is that it?
The French guy is funny because he's just a dick. So that's kind of funny.
Asshole.
He's just like an asshole.
He's just like a French asshole.
He's just like exactly what you think of a French asshole.
Minus a cigarette.
It's hilarious.
And like hounding a woman to fuck him.
Although you don't know what goes on. I've seen him trying to romance some of the women on Nailed It, haven't you?
It's true.
It's terrible. It's terrible. But if you know, it's okay. If you try to do this, you're doing okay.
You know when you bend over to make the fondant.
I put in butthole, and then you never know. It goes right in.
If I wrap those cheeks in fondant, it look great.
I use lard on penis.
Why did I just roll
right
my
in.
R?
I don't know where you went in there. We're all fucked up.
I'm the most Spanish French guy.
We went off the reservation there. I think I got into like a sort of an Eastern European.
We made the Nailed It guy rape a contestant. That was fun.
Well, I don't know. We don't know that he hasn't. We have no idea what he's done, Jimmy. Do we? We don't know that he has. We don't know that he hasn't.
I liked Cosby's fucking himself, and back then he was doing it.
It was fantastic. And then what happens? Look what happens after that.
Look.
So they're having problems. They have a drug raid. Yeah. When your house has been raided by police.
That's terrifying.
And that's so embarrassing for the kids, too. I know of another thing. I knew a different kid. I won't mention his name. But he was like my best friend in like 6th, 7th grade. Yeah. And really, really cool guy. Really great guy. We got along great. Him and his little brother. And we used to skateboard together, play baseball together and shit. We were like 12. And his dad had his house raided because he was a coke dealer.
Oh, no.
And that was like...
Everybody knew.
Everybody knew. Yeah. Like, it was like his dad's fucking... Yeah. I mean, it was like you couldn't miss it. Yeah. They swarmed his house. So tons of cops and then drug him out in handcuffs. Yeah. And he was in jail for coke and shit. And like all this stolen jewelry he had. He was like fencing jewelry and shit on the side. He was just kind of a half-assed... not really a wise guy, but like back east, it's like you don't have to be like mobbed up. You're just kind of like, if you're Italian, you're kind of on the periphery. You just kind of know when shit falls off trucks and stuff. He was like one of those guys, and he sold coke. But it was like embarrassing. Like kids weren't allowed to go, like, because his dad had him on the weekends. So if you went to hang out with him and spend the night, you'd do it at his dad's house. And his dad had like Playboys everywhere. It was the fucking best. Oh, we were like 12. Like there's just nudie mags.
How great
we found
was your
porn.
First time you saw porn?
Oh, we were so. All he had was like baseball videos and porn. We're like, this is the greatest place ever. And then after that, like no one was. He had a video, like an arcade game. It was great. And then none of us were allowed to go there anymore. Like, he's not giving us coke. What do we? He didn't give any of us coke. What do you care where we go? But that's embarrassing. So I feel bad for the kids in this situation. He ended up, James Soares pleads no contest to felony drug possession, and the court imposes a 3-year suspended sentence and places him on probation for 5 years.
So he gets to go back to the kids.
They
don't go to a group home.
No jail time, and they don't know what ended up happening. He pled no contest, and there's no resolution in the court records to Marion's case in this. I feel like that's part of the plea. I'll plead to this, and you drop the shit against my wife because, kind of my wife and the mother of my kids, and I kind of need, her to not be in prison. That helps.
I had a friend named Joaquin whose house got raided over his mom was running a brothel.
Oh.
And that was the coolest thing.
I was going to say, there's way less stigma to that.
That kid was a gangster. He was the coolest kid. Everybody loved him.
Way less stigma to that than cocaine in 1990, which was like, everyone was like, ew.
He's the one that showed me porn for the first time because he just took it from his mom's brothel.
Oh, that's like, great.
There's tons of it.
He just looked in a window.
Right.
Want to see porn? Right. No, it's not on film yet. It's just right there.
They're still fucking. They're still
just go in and look. You can just watch. Hide in that closet. So, again, the problem here, James Soares, this was 1986. In 2002, he's indicted again. His house is raided again.
What is going on? He doesn't learn.
No, he does. House is raided again, and they think that he is either selling guns or doing some sort of thing like that. The house is raided. He's indicted on a federal charge of unlawfully possessing firearms as a convicted felon.
Yeah.
Not allowed at all.
And he's on probation.
Well, that was a 5-year deal.
Okay.
That was over, but still, he's still a felon, and he can't have a gun. And they ended up seizing 12 long rifles, 3 handguns.
He can't even have one of those.
He can't have any of these. He has 15 guns, and he's allowed 0. And 30,000 rounds of ammunition.
Wow.
Again, allowed 0.
Yeah.
So you have 30,015 things that you're not allowed to have, and 0 things that you are allowed to have. So not terrific. Well, I'm sure he had lamps and TVs that he was allowed to have, but other than that, he ends up getting arrested, obviously, for that. He pleads guilty to this charge. Somehow this guy works it so he gets only home confinement, house arrest for 1 year.
Wow.
And 5 years probation. So he got house arrest.
That's a deal.
He's had his house raided twice and done no prison time.
And on both raids, they came up with tons of shit.
Exactly what they were looking for. We got the drugs and money. All right, yay, and they take him out. We got all these guns, yay, and they take him out, and cops never goes to jail.
And the justice system's like, try again.
You know how expensive those fucking raids are to mount a bunch of these guys up and get all. They cost a lot of money and all the investigation for what? So this guy could be on house arrest for a year.
$1,500 out of it.
So I mean, so he $1,350, and so he could get some coke out of this guy's house. Who gives a shit? This is ridiculous.
What do they do with those guns, I wonder? Because I know they destroy some of them, but if
they auction them.
Do they auction?
Yeah, they'll auction them if they haven't been
serial number and all that
if they haven't been used in a crime or anything. If they're just
stolen.
Yeah, they're just exactly. If they're just kind of in the wind guns that they're just one guy to another. They auction them like anything else.
The county or whatever.
Yeah, like anything else, like everything else. That's why they raid drug places for the most part.
That's the seizure reason.
It's the seizure reason. These fucking. How do you think they afford tanks? How do you think local police forces afford tanks? Anyway, he's home confinement for a year after all this. Now, Marion and her part in this, when they raid the house, she ended up having over 27 different kinds of medication. She's got things. Now, neighbors later on will say that she had cancer and she had other various health ailments, all sorts of problems, and that she just hadn't been healthy in years as we get into the 2000s. It's weird, too, because the neighbors look at her in different ways. One of the neighbors says she's a pill popper, prescription drug addict. That's all she is. And then another one would say she's a sweet woman who's been long suffering with illness and she lives with a lot of pain and we feel so bad for her. And then the other one, like, she's a fucking junkie. What are you talking about? That's who she is.
Sounds like the person that thinks that she's a sweet person might be buying some pills from her.
That's possible. Or they're just like, oh, she seems like a nice lady, but then the other people kind of know better. They're like, she's fucking, are you kidding me?
You've been to a Soares barbecue
before?
On, it's
she's
fucked up.
Fucking whacked out. Yeah, she's got a lot of pain, but that doesn't mean she needs to snort the pills off the back of the toilet. That doesn't help. So I feel like it's that. The argument is between whether it's that much fun or not for her. October 2004, James Jr. Pleads no contest to disorderly conduct and given 6 months probation.
He's got a great fucking lawyer.
That's what I mean. And he gives one to this kid, and he's 20 in October 2004, and that's just disorderly conduct. He gets 6 months probation.
But he's still, everything's been pled down.
That's true. Well, this is James Jr.
Oh, that's Junior.
The kid. This is 20-year-old James Jr. has a disorderly conduct, which you're 20 years old. Disorderly conduct could be literally anything.
That's throwing something at a neighbor for telling you to keep it down.
Could have gotten a scuffle at a bar. That's disorderly conduct.
Well,
that wasn't even that big of
not.
or a fucking at the fair or at the Folks Fest. Who knows, Jimmy? Who knows? True. He could be very racist.
Maybe he was very angry that those crafts were not super fun.
He's like, these comedians suck. He's not a national comedian. No, I don't remember seeing him on Cheers. I don't remember that, actually. I don't remember that at all. What episode was it, huh? Did he have a line? He's an extra, wasn't he? Exactly. That's what I thought. I'm looking up your IMDb. Hey, fucker. Hey, I'm looking up your fucking IMDb right now, man. Yeah, you're full of shit. You're full of shit.
It's disorderly conduct, sir.
Hey, there you go. And it was warranted. That's a heckle you can't come back from, by the way. It's one thing to say you suck. You can burn somebody back on that. But when they say, I'm looking up your IMDb, you, sir, are full of shit. Your credentials are not what you say they are. There's no heckle. There's no retort to that.
No.
It's just, you're fucked.
Shout that at the guy that, quote unquote, destroys hecklers. Yeah. His IMDb is just shit that he's made.
Yeah, his own YouTube videos.
Fucking douche.
April of 2005, at 21, James Jr. here pleads no contest to a vandalism charge and is given a 1-year suspended sentence for this. So he is escalating a little bit, but that's a lot of disorderly conduct, vandalism. 1 year suspended sentence actually seems strong for a little vandalism. That had to be a lot of vandalism. That seems like a probationary type thing.
The kids from Columbine got something like that too for breaking into a fucking van, though, and they just called that vandalism, I think.
That's true.
It may have been pled
vandalism
down from theft.
You know what, too? Vandalism has a big, and that's
an umbrella.
True. That's true too. It could have been something bigger that they reduced to a vandalism because all we have is the final plea. We don't have what the original charges were at that point. During this time, James Jr. has a MySpace page, of course, because he's a douchebag, and it's 2005. So
I want to see his song.
Going to have they said it wasn't. It was pretty blank.
Really,
it's basically a blank. There's not a lot there. He didn't put music over it or anything like that. It was just mainly his photo album, which was just a lot of like shit for movies and stuff like that. A lot of Scarface and Goodfellas he liked.
Christ.
Which, don't say Christ about Goodfellas.
I'm saying like
Scarface.
Those are great movies, but
no, one's a great movie and one's
Scarface
a piece of shit.
Scarface was a good movie.
No, it's not.
When it came out, it was fun to watch.
Piece of shit. Terrible score, thing, awful job, an hour and a half too long. Come at me if you're fucking saying it's bullshit. That movie sucks.
He had to search the internet for those pictures and then put it into Photo Bucket and then copy a link to upload that to his fucking page. Yeah. That's a lot of work for shit that you didn't even make.
I believe that's MySpace. You just described described the MySpace experience.
That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of fucking work to brag about a movie that you saw.
That's why MySpace sucked. Some other stuff they showed him. He had pictures of him partying with his friends. One with he's hanging out with a couple of girls and one's in a bathing suit and all that. And he looks like he's having a good old time.
Sure.
Hey, I'm a cool guy.
Right.
I know 2 women, and one of them is comfortable enough to be mostly naked around me. Ooh, look at me. They show one in front of a vehicle in his parents' backyard, just hanging out. So he's got, just your general 20-year-old stupid pictures and Goodfellas and shit like that. By 2008, James Jr. still living at home. Yeah. He's still living at home, hanging out, and by now he is addicted to coke.
Okay.
So that's a problem. So
he's had his run with the law that are minor offenses.
But probably in the bigger problem of he's got drug problems. Yeah. It's you tend to have minor scrapes when you have major problems. Right. It's kind of the way it works. And also if your family if you come from a drug house, if you came from a house where the cops raided and found coke in it, you're probably
then lots of weapons.
You're probably more likely to do coke. I'm just going to go out on a limb here. I could be generalizing, but it's just
listen.
And if both of your parents are into drugs too, genetically, you're a lot more likely to be into drugs.
Right.
But they allow him to keep living at the home. James and Marion allow James Jr. to keep living there. They call James Jr. Jimmie also.
Yeah.
So his name is Jimmy Soares, by the way.
Good God.
So there's that. So,
the worst.
So, of course, you almost have to turn to drugs when your name is Jimmy Soares.
He's just coping.
Yeah. So, but apparently his coke problem is a huge problem, though. It's not a minor thing. He doesn't do a little coke now and then.
He needs it.
He's got a coke issue. Our son has a problem type of thing here. They also allow his girlfriend to move in. Which, Jesus Christ, right there.
He's in his 20s.
Nicole Pacheco, her name is.
Okay.
Nicole Pacheco he's in his 20s with a coke problem, and so let's let his 19, 20-year-old girlfriend also move into the home because everything's going to work out fine then. You know what he needs? More sex under our roof. Yeah. That's what he needs. Maybe they can make a baby, and then we'll have to pay for it.
They have coke field sex?
Coke
Forget
sex,
it.
yeah.
Oh,
boy.
You think teenagers fuck hard enough?
Let's hope he did enough coke to where it shut him down.
Right.
We gave him
Make him impotent.
Completely knocked his dick in the dirt. Let's hope for that. You never know. But so the problem is when you have a couple and they're both cokeheads living in your home, chances are they're going to steal shit because they're cokeheads.
Right. Because they need coke.
And this is the fucked up part, too. If you know, anyone who's a person who does coke, there are some people who do coke and just are casual with it, but people who are very, very, very addicted to fucking coke,
super cokehead,
have a problem with it and shit. They're untrustworthy, generally shifty individuals, especially if they're not millionaires who can afford it.
Right.
You don't really trust them.
No.
When you get a coke couple,
oh boy,
dude, that's the scare. 2 people scamming and scheming, and not 2 friends, a couple.
Right.
They fucking scam and scheme. Holy shit. You can't. That's horrible things are going to happen. That's natural born killer shit. Not that they're going to kill, but
this is exactly what they were doing.
People fuel each other. Right. And when you get a couple and you're like, yeah, we'll do that. Yeah. And then you have somebody being your echo chamber.
You have a built-in yes man that blows you. Gee, that's amazing.
That's frightening. Yeah. When you add, when you're encouraging someone and then having sex with them, that's too much.
Right.
And for anybody's brain to handle, I feel like at that point, it's just going to fucking melt down. You're going to have a problem. So they have problems. They basically steal all their shit all the time.
Sure.
They'll end up going into the parents' bedrooms and stealing credit cards and stealing money and
shoes.
Find a pair of earrings missing, shoelaces just to have, just put them in their pockets.
Just to build a cat's cradle with.
They sell them for 30
cents. When you were a kid?
I never played. I don't know what the hell is going on there. I was like, does that come like that, or do you have to do that? I didn't know what people were doing. I just ignored it.
Stupid game.
Yeah. So anyway, eventually though, enough times this scumbag couple raids all their shit and starts stealing their things that finally they kick her out of the house, which obviously causes some trouble between the parents and the son.
Right.
How do you have the balls your girlfriend's been living there, you're both scumbags, you're both cokeheads, you've been stealing their shit, and then they kick her out, which you should be like, yeah, that's expected, and then you're mad at them for that. That's some balls right there.
But I mean,
Okay. My grandparents let my uncle stay way too fucking long. And they went through this whole cycle right now.
Was he a cokehead?
Yeah. Oh, my God. Everything.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Everything. He did everything. He had a friend named Davo who jumped out of a fucking house because he was tripping. and out of the second floor, he thought he heard voices telling him he could fly. So he jumped.
So that's the guy they tell you about in health class to try to scare you away from acid.
Right, exactly.
He's the one guy.
Yeah.
Him, and then there's the guy who thinks he's a glass of orange juice, and that's what they tell you.
And then his brother fell asleep after doing a ridiculous amount of drugs and like knocked over a candle or something. The house caught on fire.
That's amazing.
And he died in the house fire.
That's like the anti-heroin poster.
Right.
Like you're gonna nod off, and you could see bubbles from the wire, like knocking a fucking candle over. And next thing you know, the whole shed's going up, and little Sherrod's gonna die from that instead of a goddamn overdose that was meant for the other golf. Never mind, Jimmy. You don't watch the fucking wire. God damn you son of a bitch.
Point is, my uncle is this guy. Mine is stealing from my grandparents because he knows better.
Let's find out what happens and see how similar they are. Maybe they're exactly the same. Maybe your uncle is Jimmy Sores. You ever think of that? Maybe you're named after this gentleman, although he was born after you. You never know. So, James Sores Jr. is younger than you. So Jimmy is known in the neighborhood for his hot temper also. Yeah. He's known as, he's on a lot of coke, so you tend to get jumpy. Yeah. That's what happens.
Mood swings, shit like that.
Temper. Yeah. I would say temper goes right along with coke problem. Right. I need coke. I'm a little edgy.
Right.
And so temper comes out.
And now I'm mad.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. So they let the son stay there, but they kick Nicole out, and Marion files for a restraining order against Nicole.
Really?
Doesn't even want her at the house. So that's how serious they are about she stays the fuck out, but they let him stay there.
There are conditions. They've said some shit to Jimmy. They've told him.
I don't know how they don't say, you and your fucking girlfriend get out of our house. You're stealing our shit. Right. I know you're our son. Yeah. We love you, but you can't steal shit from our house. Right. Sorry. We have enough problems, not to mention the police come and raid us every once in a while, and they steal a bunch of our shit. That's always an issue.
And that's the shit that makes us money. So
and now you're here stealing also. You can see our point. Is what we're getting at. So he's had his vandalism, his disorderly conduct, and all that sort of thing here. In 2004, police find James. Apparently, he is just in public, pacing angrily back and forth, holding a weapon.
Junior?
James Jr. And in his car, they find 3 tire irons and a baseball bat, like on the passenger floor. Yeah. Which isn't where you usually keep your tire iron if you need one for your car.
And you need one.
You usually keep that in the trunk. Right. Maybe 2 if you're really thorough. Right. Really thorough. You're like, I know it's tempered steel, but I could snap it.
Or just in case you put one oddball lug nut on there, and that happens to be the one that opens it.
You never know. You see a guy on the street. He needs a tire iron. You go, hey, you know what, pal? This is for you.
Keep this one.
You toss it to him like Joe Green, and you walk away. I think that's how it works.
Here you go, kid.
There you go, kid.
Here's my jersey.
Here's your tire iron. You give him a wink. Take a sip off your Coke, and you go. So, the police have to talk to him about that. And they're like, well, what are you doing exactly? And he just never had an explanation, just pacing angrily with a weapon. With and
several in his floorboard.
Several in his floorboard. Just an odd scenario. Yeah. Something you do. I don't know if you wanted coke really bad.
Right.
Of that nature.
Contemplating like the worst way to get it.
Fucking. Plus, just pacing with a weapon is just you're planning. That's just thinking. Plotting and planning.
At minimum,
there's shit going on there. I don't trust that shit at all. But the relationship between him and the parents is really bad here. He's trying to get Nicole he's not only mad at them, he wants Nicole back in the house. Yeah. And they're mad because she stole a bunch of their credit cards and was using them. Oh, no. And they both did, but
sure.
Like I said, they're under the impression like, you're our son, we can't kick you out, but we can kick her out. And it's he's in his 20s and you can go ahead and boot him out at any time. That's perfectly fine.
Right. Or you can make him sink or swim. That's kind of the way it's got to work.
I don't know, get out. Right. And go get arrested for coke a bunch of times, and just like we did. Right. And hopefully you'll figure it out and have some kids, and it'll work out for you like it's worked out for us. Right. Enjoy.
I don't know. It out, you can too.
I don't know what to tell you. Yeah,
get a rap sheet.
So
that'll force you to go the straight and narrow.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna either that or go to prison. Right. One of the two. Yeah. Or this will happen.
One way or another, you'll get a roof over your head.
Something's gonna happen. You'll be fed. Right. So July of 2008, all the way fast forward to there. Like we said, now he's been arrested a few times. He's known as kind of the neighborhood dipshit.
Yeah.
First of all, all, they're the house with all the cars and the barbecues and people, and too many people live there. And the son's got a hot temper and he paces back and forth with tire irons and weapons. Yeah. And it's nuts.
I see chickens in the front yard.
This is what I mean. Well, this sounds like I don't know about the parents, but at least the son sounds like a very white trash scenario here. I'm not sure about the parents, honestly. I don't know. Something tells me they were kind of people, it seems like, where he graduated high school in 65. He dug motorcycles and shit like that. Yeah. Got into a little bit of drugs and, kind of sold a little on the side while he worked for the union. And that's a little, a little extra income. And you know what I mean? I just feel like he's one of those guys. Yeah. I don't feel like these are bad people, the parents here at this point. But I feel like the son is a fucking scumbag. I don't trust him at all, but that's just me. So anyway, July 2008, James Sr. and Marion are expected to attend a family reunion on Marion's side.
Okay.
Now, Marion had been looking forward to this for like a long time, so much so that she created a special family tree thing. Like she made this whole thing
with all the faces, the pictures in it. And shit.
Of everybody, and had 100 copies printed off.
Oh my
for this
God.
Family reunion. Like this was going to be like she's going to show up, and here's the family tree, and we're all going to talk about it, and we're all she's into this shit.
I made this at the folk days.
Yeah,
right.
This is what, and this is months she's looking forward to this. Like this is the highlight of her year, is this family reunion.
Okay.
But a few days before it, people are calling her and she's not returning phone calls and she's not returning emails from her family that are, just trying to make plans with her. Are you coming? Are you bringing the potato salad? Don't put pickles in it. Put pickles in it.
Right.
The pickle
I'm not
debate.
Bringing any food.
Twitter.
Wait till you see this goddamn tree.
Wait till you see all the pills I'm bringing. I have a bunch of pills and a family tree stacked high. So it's going to be great. It's going to be what Valium and family trees are going to be flying around here. So they're a little, concerned, but they're like, I don't know, maybe she's just being antisocial, or maybe she's not feeling good, because they know that she's sometimes not feeling good, aka taking a lot of pills, or not feeling good. We don't know.
Or working on this fucking tree.
Or working on this tree. She might have another tree she's working on. We don't know. Maybe she's decided to turn this into a business.
She's running below the radar because she doesn't want to blow her surprise. That's what it is.
She's like the genealogy.com originator here. OG shit on that.
On 23andMe.
Yeah, that's what she's doing here. So here she is. She's the day of the event rolls around and they don't show up. At all, James Sr. and Marion. They just don't show up.
Fucking tree, Marion.
No call, no show, no tree, no Valium, no Coke, no potato salad,
no
dick.
guns,
nothing. No long rifles, nothing's happening. So the family freaks out. They did not expect her to miss this. They call the police. They go so
That's
far.
Their first thing to do.
They've been calling for a week.
Oh, okay.
Getting no answer, email, no answer, nothing. They don't show up at the reunion. That's all she's talked about. She made this tree. They all know about it. And then she just doesn't show up. No calls, no shows. They're like, what the fuck's happening? She missed her shift.
We're going to fire her from the family.
What are we doing here? Yeah, she's definitely getting suspended at the very least.
They called the family HR and they called the cops.
They said, oh, well, we can suspend her. So the police, the reported missing. I just want to say right now to everyone out there, this goes for my family, my friends, just people who might know me. If I don't show up for something, do not call the fucking police. Don't. I probably just don't like you as much as you think I do, or as much as I pretended I have, or I just got really lazy and didn't feel like it. Those are the one of the two. That's probably the occasion. I'm probably not missing. Don't bother. And if I am missing, you're not going to save me by calling the police. Just don't fucking bother.
If I don't show up, I'm dead, and I didn't want to be there anyway.
That's what I mean. So either way, leave me alone if I don't show up somewhere. Jimmy, too. If we don't show up for something you expect, unless it's like a live show, we won't miss that. If you buy tickets, we'll be there, unless weather or something keeps us from flying there. Other than that, we will be there.
It's a planned event that I'm not getting paid for, and I don't show up.
I will not show up, probably.
Get a power of attorney and raid my bank account, because I don't give a fuck anymore.
For me, it's just par for the course. If I'm not getting paid to be there, expect me not to show up, because I'm going to go, why am I going to this? I'm not even getting paid. I know there's no reason to, and then I'll talk myself out of it. It's terrible. So I'm an awful person. Anyway, so they call the police. Police officers investigate. First thing, they go to their house, obviously, knock on the door. Where are you?
Welfare check.
Maybe they're here. I don't know. Maybe they just don't feel like talking to these fucking people. Especially if I don't talk to my family, don't think something's wrong. That's just normal. So I just might want to get away from them for a little while. So they don't. They talk to James Jr. He's at the house, and Nicole is there also, which is she's not supposed to be there. But they don't make a big deal out of that because they're looking for missing people. Right. They talk to Soares Jr. and he says that the parents missed the reunion and they haven't returned any phone calls or anything because they're on a month-long vacation. Oh. They're on a big, long motorcycle trip.
Yeah.
It's a motorcycle trip. It's a month on a motorcycle, and then they're just going to retire their assholes and never shit again, I guess. I don't know. You can't be older people just riding on a motorcycle for a month.
For a month? That sounds
It's not going to work. Yeah, no. Her uterus would fall out when you're that age. You can't do it. His prostate would be dragging behind him on the fucking ground, be bumping off the road.
His leather Cheerio, at minimum, is bright red.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. My dad did a cross-country motorcycle trip with his friends, a few years ago, and he's in his 50s, and he's like, I almost just died from just riding the motorcycle.
Sitting.
My whole body was he's like, I loved it, but my whole body was basically just destroyed after that for a long time.
I rode from here to Cave Creek, which is exactly 38 miles, and I fucking hated every mile.
Every minute of it. I don't get why people like motorcycles.
So
I don't understand it. I feel like you just like to sit on it. That's the main thing. Like, isn't this pretty cool looking? Outside. Look, I'll start. It's loud, right? Hey, it's loud, right?
Cut it off. The kids
up. All right, you gotta let me fire it up a little more.
The new episode of Nailed It is on.
Who gives a fuck? Listen to this. You're not watching The Wire. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna really kick it up loud now. That's the motorcyclist.
I've had so many motorcycles, and I've probably put a collective of like 12,000 miles on all of them together because it's fucking miserable to ride long distances. It's great to ride 5 miles at a time. It's fucking amazing.
But not to the grocery store because you can't carry anything. Right. It's just not. I got to drive there and then drive back.
2.5 miles away and go 2.5 miles the fuck back. That's
right.
What I'm going to do.
And I look pretty cool doing
it. And I'm loud as fuck doing it.
Anybody get a picture? Because I haven't put anything on Facebook today. I really need something to put up there.
It was hard to put that picture onto MySpace.
It was difficult to put it in the photo bucket. It's hard.
Those steps.
So the cops were kind of like, really? That's kind of an odd thing. It's weird. It didn't sound right, so they kept asking questions. Yeah. So then the story started changing. Yeah. His story then goes to, okay, look, I'll level with you. Yeah. I didn't want, this is embarrassing because it's kind of just a family, just kind of a skeleton in the closet.
Right.
Didn't want to talk about it. Just figured I'd brush it away. But since you're asking, you're pushing, you are the cops, I will tell you the truth. Actually, my father has left my mother. He met a woman on the internet and had been having an affair with her for a long time. Oh boy. And he had just left her, took off, and his mother is in Massachusetts with her family now, in basically in hiding. Okay. She doesn't want to be found. So if you look for her, you're not going to be able to find her because she's in hiding, because she's so embarrassed. So don't look for her.
She's in so deep hiding that her family will call the cops and report her missing.
Dude, that's what deep. I mean. Yeah. She doesn't want to be found because she's that sad. Right. And my dad, if you try to find him, I mean, he's just fucking
buried in some pussy somewhere.
Don't even worry about her. He's got a bunch of strange up to his knees, so you don't have to sweat him. They've been on the internet for a long time. This is the explosion of passion, and don't worry about it.
It's a big thing.
She's sad. Everybody, I'll hold down the fort
sad,
here.
He's happy, but they're so sad and so happy. You'll never find them.
They don't want to be found. That's the thing. So I'll hold down the fort here at the house.
I got this with this girl that everybody hates.
We'll do that, and then you guys just go, and then when they show up, then they'll be there, and then that'll be that. So
and we'll all be happy.
Okay, so have a good one, and he closes the door, and that's the end of the episode. Thanks for listening to Small Town Murder. No murder this week, but it's kind of just an interesting story of a family in turmoil.
The cops just believe that.
That's all it is, and that shows. Isn't that amazing?
That's
great. But he's a trustworthy young man, so obviously, no police record or anything like that. But they were like, you know what? That sounds, I don't know,
not so plausible.
We feel like that if that happened, your mother would probably go to the support systems of the people who, called the police and said she's missing. So
but what if I give you a tire iron? Will that change your mind?
How about a baseball bat? Pace angrily for me. We want to check it out for a minute. They also said James Jr.'s attitude seemed a little off.
Yeah. They said, he was on drugs?
They said instead of searching for his parents, because they were missing, he's saying they're not missing, they're fine. Right. So instead of searching for his parents, he just lived at the house and just hung out, just went about about his daily life.
I'd do that.
Didn't do shit. Just watched TV, hung out with his girlfriend, probably banged her in his parents' bed.
Probably.
You know how that works.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was.
For sure.
There was like all the king-size beds open, baby. Woo-wee. Yeah. We get off this full for once.
Got the Posturepedic up there.
That's right. I guarantee you they didn't have a Casper.
No.
And that if they did, they'd be in better shape.
They probably would.
Their
back would feel much better.
So comfortable. Anyway, I would give you the code, but I don't know it off the top of my head. But it's on there somewhere. Go to Casper and buy a mattress. Anyway, moving on. Then at this point, they're like, we'll tell you what, we want to investigate a little further. We're going to look around the house.
Yeah.
We're going to check it out. And James Jr., he's just like, sure, yeah, come on in. I mean, you might find some long rifles and cocaine, but other than that,
coke.
You know, I mean, that's not what you're after, right? You're like Bunk says on The Wire, we're here for the bodies. That's what I'm saying. So they eventually look, and they're thorough.
Yeah.
It's funny when people are missing and they're searching, they're really thorough.
They
don't just like open the door and like flick the light on and go, no, not here, and then flick it off. Like they look under beds and everything. They're really, really thorough. They look so thorough. They even look in closets and like on the floor and stuff. And they found some blood in that closet.
Okay.
Interesting. They end up finding it's a lot of blood actually.
Like a pool?
Like formerly a pool.
Okay.
What was at one time a pool of blood, and they end up figuring out that it is Marion's blood.
Okay.
So that's a bad sign right there. I don't know. Maybe she
cries blood.
She cries blood. She just opened a wrist in sadness. I don't know what it was, but it's
probably from when she was wrapping Christmas presents.
That's it right there. Yeah, it's what you know. What that happens, and you put the presents in the closet. Pool of blood next thing you know. Yeah, the kids that year all got blood soaked, dripping.
Tickle me Elmo.
What's that? Don't worry about it. Elmo's
all the same color.
Elmo's had a rough night. So he's just hanging out there. They find the pool of blood. So now they go to James and they go, listen, okay, I know you've said this. I know you've said that. You lied to us twice now.
Yeah.
Now we look around and we find a pool of what we find out is your mother's blood in a closet. I think maybe you have some explaining to do here. I think you know a little bit more than you're letting on. So James Jr., again, I'll level with you.
I got a better one.
Listen, okay.
Would you buy?
How about this? Okay. His father told his mother about this internet affair. And she got really mad and really crazy, and they got in a huge fight.
And she started her period.
Well, to the point, all over the place. Even though she's already deeply into menopause, it doesn't matter.
She suddenly had
it was wild. Spontaneous menstruation. Period. It was wild. Spontaneous menstruation's a problem in Rhode Island. Public service announcement for spontaneous menstruation in elderly women. Are you 60 plus? Do you live in the Northeast? Do you have spontaneous menstruation in general closets for no reason?
When you haven't had it for over 12 years, and all of a sudden it's 12 years worth of backed up menstruation.
They call it closet spotting, I believe is the word.
Closet soaking, that's what it is.
Well, since it's spotting, since it's it's a girl term. Anyway. It's popping up once in a while. Anyway, so he lives there, still hanging out, and now there's a pool of blood. So there's a problem there. So he then says that here's what happened. Okay, let me level with you. My father killed my mother during this fight. They got in a huge fight. My father killed her in the house. It was terrible. Obviously, I didn't want it to happen. It's my mother. And then he didn't know what to do, so he took the body and took off, and he's been gone ever since.
Okay.
So father's gone, mom's dead.
Yeah.
Look for dad and look for a trunk of a car because he took mom's body and just took the fuck off.
That's a hell of a story.
That's a crazy fucking story, okay? So then they go, but where's your dad, though? Because the vehicles that are made, it's just, not really adding up. And your father, really, I don't know how he'd be in such good hiding. It's not like he's not Whitey fucking Bulger.
Right.
He's a union guy who lives in Rhode Island. Like, he's not going to, he doesn't have like a large cash stockpile to lean back on. They're checking shit like that. They're like, he's not, unless he's got just all this cash to live off of and to go underground, it's going to be really hard for this guy to hide, especially with a corpse.
Yeah.
It's difficult. So he says, okay, this is what happened. Okay.
Would you buy this story?
Okay, here we go. What is it? I know. Listen, I know the first 4 or 5 things I told you had holes in them. I'm not going to lie to you then. Here's what happened. Now, this is hard for me to tell you, but fight happened, internet, blah, blah, blah. Dad kills mom.
Right.
I got super pissed then I killed my dad for killing my mom.
Right.
That's what happened.
Uh-oh.
So
now you've just incriminated yourself.
They're both dead, but he killed my mom.
Yeah.
So I had to kill him.
Obviously.
Right. So that's supposed to be some sort of mitigator here. That's what he says. Now, the neighbors here at this point, they're talking to the neighbors to find out what they've entered this weird universe of where the fuck are we? Yeah. Who are these people? This is strange. And to get just a grip on the whole thing, they have to talk to people. There's people named Dave and Tracy Rasmussen that lived a few houses down from them. They said that Marion didn't get along at all with her son, and James Jr. and his mom had a terrible relationship. They would always argue. Okay. They said that Marion was so afraid of James Jr. that Marion would come over to these people's house, the Rasmussen's house, and just hang out until Jim Sr., as she called him, James Sr., got home from work, so she would feel safe at the house with the
safety
son.
Numbers, gotcha.
She's like, okay, Jim's home.
Dad's home.
I can go home now. Yeah. She said that it was their only son, but she was, frightened of her. Another neighbor said that they had problems with the son. They said that he had a temper, and there was always arguments over there. You could always hear Jimmy Jr. fucking yelling and screaming. That he had a violent temper. They also said, the Rasmussen people said, the father always stuck up for him. James Sr. would stick up for him all the time.
Because he's his junior.
He's his junior, and he would say, leave the boy alone. Right. That sort of thing. He's just doing coke and stealing from us. It's fine. Leave the boy alone. He's got to learn. Yeah. I don't know how that would help. But they also said that we knew that Jimmy Jr. had a temper, but he was always respectful to us. Okay. So he knew how to be full of shit, basically, to the outside world. Another neighbor, Kenny Barber, said that they had a lot of problems over there, and that the police had a lot of problems with James Jr., and basically these people were all dirtbags, and the whole neighborhood knows it.
Right.
They're talking shit about everybody, especially James Jr. Yeah. They all seem to like the parents. Even the people who are like, oh, she's a pill popper, Marion, they still like the parents.
Quiet. They're not themselves.
They're like kind of nice people. They're sociable people. They'll go out and say, hey, how you doing? And talk to you, and they're not dicks to you, and they're kind of like you.
Yeah.
Like, you'll talk to your neighbors and, hey, what you got there? What's that? What you doing? How's your lawnmower? Horse shit.
I will not talk about their lawnmower with them.
If that's what's sitting out there, you talk about anything.
If it's something fun,
you'll try to make them feel good, and you'll be like, that's a nice one. Then you'll let them explain the horsepower and shit, and you'll actually listen like you care.
If it's got something that's awesome on it, like a self-propelling lawnmower, I want to know.
See that?
Tell me about that shit.
I give the Dennis from Always Sunny in Philly, keys in hand, looking down, stiff wave. Don't talk to me. I'm not looking at you.
But if they got a new Harley, I want to hear about it. If they got a new Jeep, I want to hear about it.
Jesus, I don't care if they just went to the moon. I don't want to know anything about it. Leave me the fuck alone.
Tell me about your new juicer. That sounds cool.
Tell me about I'm going to get you a t-shirt that says, tell me about your juice. Tell me about your juicer. That's what it's going to say.
Like a Walmart vest that says, ask me how I can help.
Yes.
Tell me about your juicer.
Tell me about your juicer. What you got there, guy?
If it's something that's new that I've never seen, I want to see it.
So, that's amazing.
You're right.
So the cops here, they found the blood under the carpet. They found the blood originally with a dog, searching for human remains.
Right.
And eventually here they look in the back. They look all over the property with the dog, and they end up finally finding something. The dog thinks they find something right over the septic tank in the backyard, right over the cesspool there in the backyard.
So the dog is sniffing around and
finds shit,
and he hits on the shit.
He hits on shit.
It's not a great dog.
It's not. No. That's what I mean. I smell shit.
Yeah.
It's great.
We're not digging there, Fido. Find somewhere else.
That would be my dog. Like Frankie is just sit there and sniff the shit forever. We're looking for fucking bodies. I'd be yelling at her. She's just wagging her tail.
You're like, no, that's shit. I know what's there. I know
it's shit. Right. Yeah, but I'm more excited about shit than bodies. It's a dog. They love shit.
Yeah, they love the stinky stuff.
They love shit so much. So what they end up doing is they go into the home's backyard. They dig it up. They lift the cover off the septic tank.
No fucking way.
Oh, baby. Everybody want to be a homicide detective? This is what you're doing. You're looking into a septic tank. So you don't want to be a homicide detective.
So they dug it down to the septic tank,
lifted the
cover
lid off the septic tank based on the dog's hit on shit.
Yeah.
And they start looking, and they end up finding them.
What?
Finding James Sr. and Marion rotting in the cesspool.
So that tells you that he did not flush a body.
No.
He dug up the shitter and opened it and put them in it.
Wow. And then put the ground over so they didn't even notice it. It didn't even look disturbed. It didn't even look disturbed. They said, medical examiner said that they'd probably been dead about 17 days.
That is the worst burial ever.
In a shit puddle? Yeah, I would say so. Don't bury me in a shit tank, please.
No.
That's the one. Do anything else you want to me. I don't care if you give me to a bunch of necrophiliacs. Don't put me in a shit tank. I don't want that. That's terrible.
You'd rather be a jizz tank than
I don't
in
care.
a shit
At least
tank?
I'd be making people happy. You know what I mean? I wouldn't know the difference. What do I care?
I don't know, man.
What is it? The David
I like
Cross.
bringing joy to people.
The old David Cross joke.
Joy.
He's like, I don't care. Throw me in the dumpster. Fuck me. Give me it. Fuck me in the ear. Fuck me in the eye hole. Make a new hole. Fuck me there. I don't care. I'm fucking dead. What do I? That's how I feel about it.
I kind of want to fuck David Cross.
Make a new hole. Fuck me there. Whatever. So
I'm gonna fuck David Cross in the belly button.
Once he's dead, open season.
All right.
He doesn't mind apparently. I don't know, you might have to talk to his wife about it. She might have an idea.
Get a power of attorney.
There you go. Give it a shot, Jimmy. You might be able to get it in the will.
It might happen.
I'd like this and this, and for Jimmy Whisman to fuck my belly button.
David Cross.
There you go. So
I love that guy.
He's great. He's hilarious. Arrested Development, well, stand up and everything, but Mr. Show, I'm a big way back fan. So anyway, they find them here in the backyard, and under them, when they pull them up, they also find a large grub hoe. You know what this is?
No.
It's a hoe that has, I guess, one side is like, I looked this up. One side's like a hoe and the other side's like kind of like a sledgehammer type of thing. It's got a big, so you could either dig or pound.
Okay.
You can do one or the other with it.
I'm trying to picture it. I don't see it. Don't tweet it at me, fuckers.
We'll find it before you read it.
I don't care that
and we
much.
don't care. If we want to,
but if
we'll
you
look it
have
up.
one, send me a message and let's talk about it.
Let's talk about all about it. Tell me how it works. What's that there? If you flip it over, what happens?
It is a new thing I don't know about.
See what I mean?
I want to hear it.
But not the wire. You don't want to know anything about that. Fuck you. So...
There are how many seasons of that shit, and they're over an hour each? I don't got time for that.
It's hilarious.
Just give me 20 minutes of your grub hoe.
Jesus Christ. So if you add up all the grub hoe time, you could have watched The Wire 100 times over, listening about people's fucking self-propelled lawnmowers.
Tell
and
me about your juicer.
So, hey, tell me about your juicer, guy. So at this point now, they find them in the with injuries, by the way, that are consistent with being hit with the blunt side of the grub hoe.
Oh my God.
So that's so they're thinking dead, murdered with the grub hoe, toss the grub hoe in, throw the fucking bodies in. Yeah. I guess it's over with, and they go back to their lives.
Now you got bodies and a murder weapon, though. That's not very good.
That's a problem there. Yeah, together, which is another thing. You don't usually want to do that.
That's putting the drugs and the gun together. That's not smart.
Exactly. Not smart at all. Now they talk to him, and they're like, okay, so... Your dad fled with your mother. Now you killed your dad. What happened? He said, well, where was I going to put? Once he killed my mom, I had to kill him. And then what am I going to fucking do with him? What do I do? Call the cops and say my dad was killing my mom, so I tried to defend her and killed him? You know, like a normal person would do. Call the cops if it was legitimate. I just figured I'd put him in the cesspool. That's normal, right?
Yeah,
but put him in the septic tank.
The story is his dad killed his mom. That means dad got so pissed he went outside, had time to get a grub hoe.
Oh yeah, came back her with it, then put it down gently,
to kill her,
and then he picked it up, beat.
He hacked him.
He said,
and then I got to put these in the shitter with the grub hoe.
Septic.
That's the story.
Sniff, dog, shit. Perfect. Berry. So yeah, the medical examiner concludes that they died of blows to the back of the heads. Okay. So even a sneak attack, a sneaky cokehead attack here. So he's kind of fucked at that point. Now they don't really care what the fuck his story is. Yeah. They just don't care. Another thing, while searching the yard at one point, because they came several times to the house to look around, Nicole and James Jr. sat at a table outside, placed directly over the top of the septic tank, and ate dinner in front of them.
On the bodies.
While
they're searching for the bodies.
I don't know where they went. Yeah, Dad's crazy with that internet. I don't know.
Y'all want beer?
Eating a pork chop. Fucking wow, man.
The balls.
That's some balls
unbelievable.
Here. So he's found, and he's obviously going to be charged with some shit.
Don't name your kid Junior.
This is what happens. We've told you all the time. He's obviously charged with a double murder. as you might expect.
Her too?
No, they don't charge her with murder. We'll get to her. She gets charged with so much shit. She's like a criminal master. Well, not a mastermind. She's been arrested 100 times. We'll find out a little about her. The prosecutor here, the attorney general, says, quote, the defendant's depraved indifference not to the lives of just anyone, but to the very people who raised and nurtured him is almost beyond comprehension.
Sounds like a murder or a movie trailer.
He's setting some shit up there. Yeah. You're in trouble if that's what the attorney general says about you. They're going to make an example out of you.
Sounds like the intro to Jurassic Park.
Absolutely. We haven't got to the crazy part yet because, they killed, or at least James Jr. killed his parents, put him in a septic tank, ate dinner over, pretended like everything was fine. That's bad enough, right?
Vile.
Well, what was he doing in the meantime while they were missing? He was having a good old time.
Yeah.
He was having a ball. What he did is he took their credit cards and shit like that, their money, things, emptied their bank accounts and went on a goddamn spending spree. Okay. They bought a new TV, laptop, a PlayStation, some electronics, all sorts of shit just in those weeks, just buying shit like nothing was wrong.
I hope he bought Grand Theft Auto, too, so he could break all kinds of laws.
Back then, I know. And he's like, I'm doing it now. Grand jury indictment said that they charged him with 68 counts total when they charged him. This is murder, computer fraud, obtaining money under false pretenses, fraudulent use of a credit card, and everything that goes along with that. I'm sure disturbing a septic tank is probably a crime. I have no idea. They added everything in there.
Pollution of groundwater.
They just, they did. The disposal of a toxic biohazard and the wrong thing. That they got him
working on a septic tank without certification or some shit.
Working on a Saturday, they got him under Jewish law. He's like, what the there's not even any Jewish people here. What is happening? They just nailed him. Sorry. Transactions range from $1.49 to $402 in one shot. The attorney general said essentially they went on a spending spree, used some of the products themselves, and then offered them for sale to different people. They were significant purchases. They weren't just buying a couple of bowls for the kitchen.
They were buying shit and hawking it.
Yeah, they were selling shit. They were like buying shit and then being like, I'll sell you this for fucking $50. I got it for $100 just now. Like, fuck, I don't know why I gave him a Southern accent. They're from Rhode Island.
Because that's people that do this.
Well, this is just kind of hillbilly behavior.
Yeah.
This is panhandle behavior is what this is.
Yeah.
You know what that is? It's not Southern. No. From now on, when we do that accent, it's not Southern. That's a panhandle accent is what that is. Region non-specific.
Non-distinct,
panhandle, hillbilly, shit-kicking. We don't care what color they are, what gender they are.
You heard Randy Moss talk?
Where
Jesus
you're from?
Christ.
That's it. It's a panhandle accent.
Randy Moss talks exactly like that.
Yeah.
And he looks straight gangster.
He does.
He does.
So he's from West Virginia. That's how they talk.
Is that what it is? It's
West Virginia. Yeah, him and Jason Williams, White Chocolate, played on the same basketball team in high school. So Soares here, he pleads not guilty, obviously. He's held without bail, though, clearly. I don't think they're going to let him out. Just let me go back to the house, man. That's cool.
Terrell Owens, too, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, him, too.
That's my quarterback.
I think he's from Texas. Though,
is that
right?
what it is?
Somewhere. I don't know where the fuck he's from, honestly.
He
I don't
sounds
care
like
either.
a dipshit.
So his girlfriend here, Nicole Pacheco, who's 20 at this point, she's charged with participating in the shopping spree and all the charges that come along with that. They don't charge her with murder. He says she knows nothing about it and he won't crack on that. Okay. And she says, I know nothing about it. And she won't crack on it. And I think she knew plenty about it.
Yeah.
And they're both full of shit. Yeah. But they said, let's just get one nailed.
Right.
And whatever. So she's charged with that. A judge entered a not guilty plea on her behalf at her arrangement because she didn't have a lawyer. She was ordered to stay on, held on $100,000 surety bail, which seems like they just ran her through the bail system without a lawyer present. The judge isn't her lawyer.
Yeah, that
doesn't seem legal, but I don't know what the loopholes are.
It seems like you'd wait for that hearing until you would appoint her a public defender.
Yeah, well, you should. Yeah, get her somebody there. She's not. They don't allege that she had any role in the killings, and they said that there's no evidence that she knew what happened to the couple. I think she knew. I mean, yeah. Where are your parents? She didn't say at some point, where are your parents?
She didn't say something like, "I'm not supposed to be here. What if they come home when I'm here?"
Don't worry, they ain't coming home.
Right.
Well,
why?
Yeah, they're here now, but you don't see them.
Don't worry, they're here.
They're here. Wink.
What if they come home? They're already home.
Now tell me about your juicer.
They done been home.
What are you gonna? They done been home. So
wait till I show you this juicer.
Oh, it's beautiful. She ends up not being charged, like we said, but she ends up getting a 5-year prison sentence after pleading no contest to obtaining money under false pretenses and a bunch of smaller crimes. That's December 2009. Him in court. he's asked to answer a bunch of questions because he decides he's going to plead guilty.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it's because of the girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's the way. Well, she had no role in it because he'll plead guilty if he just takes the hit for it.
Got it.
They leave her alone on it. He doesn't speak other than to say yes or no at his hearing.
Yeah.
When he pleads guilty. He pleads guilty to first-degree murder and other.
Guilty to that.
Guilty to that. Apparently, if he pleads guilty, then life without the possibility of parole is off the table.
Really?
Because there's some sort of thing in Rhode Island law with that.
If he pleads guilty, he could get paroled.
Well,
Possible.
yeah, it's a 40-year minimum on a life sentence. Okay. So that's 40 years, but still, if you're 60, he's only in his 20s for Christ's sake, and whatever. So that's not enough time, I don't think, for what he did. No. This is pretty fucked up. This wasn't fit of rage.
He used something
God,
I've never heard of. This is fucking crazy.
He's using obscure gardening tools to kill his parents and then put them in a shit tank. This is a terrible. And then buy PlayStations afterwards. This is an awful person.
Sounds like the grub hoe is to dig up grubs and then whack them.
Maybe
it's possible.
Probably not, though. We don't know what we're talking about. We are stupid.
It sounds like it could
remember that we're stupid.
Why the fuck
though.
else is it called a grub?
That I have no idea. So he pleads. He faces 2 consecutive life terms in prison too. So he's facing He's facing 80. Yeah. His public defender told the judge that his guilty pleas reflect his sincere desire to accept responsibility and the amount of grief that he has.
No,
that's what it is.
His desire to plead guilty is based on the fact he doesn't want his girlfriend to go to prison too.
And I think they're just like, no parole's bad. You trust us if you whatever. So they said dozens of family members were there, and they're all pissed at him, obviously. They all loved his parents.
And he ruined the fucking reunion.
Yeah, they were all fucking crying and doing all that. Oh, totally. No one got a tree.
Where's the tree,
He burned all the trees, man.
Fucking jerk.
I killed my mom. I burned them trees. The attorney general here, a police major said, quote, "It's incomprehensible to think that someone could kill someone that brought them into this world." So they're really trying to lay it on thick on here, which is pretty fun. It's not incomprehensible. It happens all the time.
It does.
Because we've covered it all the time. So he pleads guilty. His sentencing in 2010. The judge questions Soares because Soares at this point during his sentencing, now you go for mitigating factors.
Yeah.
Now it's not about guilt. Now it's why you should feel bad for me and not give me a heavy sentence. His reasoning is, well, my mother abused me sexually. So she physically abused me and sexually assaulted me all the time when I was a kid. Just my whole life.
But we need
sexual assault, sexual. Oh no! But I'm going to bring it up now when it's the most convenient for me ever. This is the only time, really. He said that he murdered his parents with premeditation and calculation because he wanted their money, their cars, and their home to share with his girlfriend
because they owed it to him because they molested him.
That's right. He thought they were just going to. I guess they're gone, and then he just took everything over, and then that's his life now. He just took over his parents' life, and they're just in the septic tank forever.
That's more taking a life than ever before.
That's insane. This is fucking nuts.
100% taking their life. That's crazy.
It's absolutely fucking nuts. So the judge and the prosecutor, dismisses the allegations of abuse as just trying to get leniency as they would. His lawyer is just asking for concurrent terms. Let's just put them together. Right. Saying he didn't intend. This is funny. After the kid,
that's how he plans to get his W on this.
Well, that's how he's.
If I can get both of them concurrent, that's my W.
Then he says, "Look, I don't intend. I'm not trying to disparage the memory of the Soareses here, but the sexual abuse could explain why a guy could snap like this. That's all I'm going to say. Something could happen. Had no history of violence. Remember that. Coke, but not violence." Right. He also, I guess there's a lot of statements from family members that said that Marion was sexually abused by her father, which is kind of a known thing. And they try to bring in the fact that it's not unusual. Basically, if you've been molested, you're way more likely to molest. Mathematically, it's just the way it is. Yeah. It's just
that makes sense.
The math is the way it is.
I think that's how it's going. Right.
It's just it fucks up people, and a lot of people it's the complete opposite. It'll make you 100% against that, but some people it fucks up, and a higher rate of people than people who haven't been molested. This happens, and don't bitch at me for that. Nobody said I've been sexually abused and I haven't molested anyone. I get it. Right. You're fine.
We get it.
But mathematically, that person's more likely. So that's all we're saying here. That's what they're trying to say. They're like, look, I mean,
it could have happened.
They're all saying she did it. She happened to her. So, you know, she probably did it to her son, which it's way less likely in women also.
Right.
So the math here is...
Women generally don't.
It's way less.
It happens.
Especially on male. It's a different thing. It happens. It absolutely does, but not as frequently. We're getting way off the way off the deal here. So... Anyway, they also said that they try to get away with that after he says, I'm not trying to besmirch their memory or anything, but they probably molested their kid is what they were doing.
I'm not trying to besmirch, but here I go besmirching.
And he also said that, hey, they used to sell drugs, the parents, and, you know, they did it, in front of their son. They knew that. They've been arrested for selling drugs. I don't know.
Besmirching the shit out of them.
How that makes a mitigating factor for killing them. But family members got on the stand and described them as loving parents who adored their kids and all that sort of thing, and they didn't see that at all. They said that there's just no way. They were just nice people. They treated him like gold. One of the James's stepsister said, quote, Dawn said, quote, I think to myself, did they see it coming? God, I hope not. She said, then she yelled at her brother, I call you an evil coward, while he was up there. So there's that. She also said her sister, Sherry Thornton, said that she wished Rhode Island had a death penalty. She said, quote, they're dead and he should be dead. He should have to be alone with his haunting memories of murdering my mother. She said you should put him in solitary confinement if you can't kill him.
Oh, my God.
So she wants fucking blood. She is eye for an eye.
She wants him buried in a septic tank.
She's going for some Baptist justice over here. Maybe she went to Brown, too. So, so he ends up getting 2 life sentences for first-degree murder. He receives concurrent terms.
He got the W.
For failing to report his parents' deaths and conspiring with his girlfriend to use their credit cards and all that. He will be eligible for parole in 40 years. So, shit. 2050, watch out. He'll be out there.
I bet he doesn't get out.
I bet he probably just dies in there.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's going to be doing all sorts of stupid shit in there. If you're a cokehead and all that, someone's going to shank him. He's going to fuck somebody over.
And you don't generally live to be an old man behind bars. It just usually doesn't happen.
No, sometimes though.
Yeah.
But you never know. It's not going to be as good for him.
Yeah.
He didn't qualify for life without parole, apparently. Here, the Attorney General said, quote, we take some solace, however, in the fact that he will be in prison for a minimum of 40 years before he's eligible for parole. I trust whoever's serving as an Attorney General 40 years from now will object to his parole. Leave a note. How about that? So Soares' family was happy that he's put away. They said, the one sister said to the police, thank you very, very, very much for all this. So he gets his life sentences. Now, Nicole, she gets out pretty soon. She probably does a couple years and a 5-year sentence. She ends up being arrested a lot.
Nicole Pavlik?
Pacheco.
Pacheco.
I find January 2013, she's arrested on warrants. Failure to appear for a payment review for a charge of larceny. So one of those, she gets arrested there.
Thief constantly.
She's a huge thief. She's July 2018, just now. She was charged with larceny.
Like yesterday.
Yeah, larceny over $1,500. This just happened. And between now and then, I found, wow, I mean, we'll go from
James, we are 6 days into July 2018.
She's already been arrested.
She's behind bars right now.
Which, honestly, I feel like she's behind schedule when I tell you what she's been doing. This is just a rundown of some of her crimes, and these are all different dates, except for a couple of them, for the last, for the 2010s, we'll say. Let's see here. We have shoplifting, reckless driving, larceny under $500, shoplifting, receiving stolen goods under $500, conspiracy, embezzling over $500, 2 counts of conspiracy on a month apart, possession of a stolen motor vehicle, fraudulent use of credit cards under $100, fugitive from justice, driving vehicle without consent of owner, larceny under $1,500, larceny under $500, 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 larceny under $1,500, larceny under $1,500, receiving stolen goods over $500, receiving stolen goods under $500, larceny over $500, fugitive from justice, 4 conspiracies, obtain money for false pretense, conspiracy, obtaining money on of a false pretense over $500, conspiracy, fraudulent use of credit cards under $100, breaking and entering into a dwelling.
Fuck, she's hot.
Fuck. Now.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
That's the type of chick he is dealing with. So,
but does she piss the bed? Because I kind of like her.
I was going to say, she sounds like a bed pisser, I'm going to be honest. But that's like after a heist, so there might be adrenaline. We don't know how that's going.
We can buy a new bed.
So she's in and out of the jail constantly. I don't know how she's out ever. James is in for a while. The person hurt most by this, besides the family, this is kind of like in crime and sports, we do mistaken identities. Right. Once in a while here, we'll do a mistaken identity. Someone who has the name, an unfortunate name. And this guy is the most unfortunate. There's a guy on Threadless. Who,
oh, no.
This poor bastard, he's like an artist. He goes by Spires, Spires. Buy something from him, because this poor son of a bitch's name is James Soares, and he is from... he's from Bristol, which is right next door. That's where Marion was from. Right next door. He says, grew up in Warren, where the Warren and Bristol school districts are mixed. I'm from Bristol. My name happens to be James Soares. Kid killed his parents with a hoe and buried them in the ground, sick bastard. I live on the Cape right now. May not be the best time to move back. My name is scarred forever where I'm from. Maybe I should just change my last name to Spires and be done with it. Now I'll never be first on Google.
This is bio?
He titles this, it's just a little thing he wrote on there. He titles it AP Ruins My Life. And he says, now I have to preface all introductions with, quote, no, I am not the same James Soares who murdered his parents, because it's the same area. This poor son of a bitch.
That is amazing.
This poor guy's like, please don't not buy shit from him. When I first looked it up, I'm like, this motherfucker's selling artwork? Fuck this guy. And I'm like, oh my God, this poor son of a bitch. So that is James Soares and James Sr. and Marion Soares and Nicole Pacheco. And
Jesus.
Just a big mess of
open sores.
Open sores. That's going to be the name of this episode, Open Sores. Open Sores here, and that is Warren, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Very interesting. Do some coke and go out there and spend your parents' money while they rot in a cesspool.
Don't bring your grub hoe over and show it to me.
Well, before you do any of that, though, you need to run to iTunes and you need to tell them all about us and give us 5 stars and say something. It doesn't matter what you say. It's not for our ego. Say, I like open source. I have lots of open source. So you can do that over there. Or if you want to be a hero of ours, one of the people we're going to talk about in just a couple of moments, you can do that very, very easily by going to patreon.com/crimeinsports, or you can go over to PayPal, use our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com, and you can do that. You can follow us at Murder Small on Twitter, at Small Town Murder on Instagram, Small Town Pod on Facebook. Search for Small Town Murder and you'll find us. And before we do the shout outs, though, I am going to do one little thing, like I said before, a little rundown of something.
I'd like to talk about it.
We're going to get to that. So do all of that shit. Go to shutupandgivememurder.com, buy some shirts. And before you do that, I just want to say, last week we did a crazy, just a nasty episode. It was horrible. And we tried to make it as palatable as possible. And people, even meaning well people, we got a lot of tweets of, I had to shut it off, and it was gross, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we know.
Right.
First of all, the show's called Small Town Murder.
Right.
Second of all, we fucking get it.
Right.
Like, that was a rough one. Yeah. We tried to make jokes where they were appropriate, and I think we actually succeeded in not making jokes where they were inappropriate. Show. Either way, here's what it is. We put the show out. We know what we recorded. Right. We say it. We record it. Then I listen to the entire fucking thing. So first of all, anytime you have a problem with anybody saying anything, even if Jimmy says something, it's my fault, because
twice.
I should have cut it if it was that bad.
Right.
And if I didn't, then it's my fault. So you can fucking blame me, because we both say shit that we have to cut sometimes. It's just inappropriate at times or whatever. It happens. So
we're comics.
I
go too far a lot.
We fucking both do. Yeah. So it happens. So we'll cut something or whatever. So we police ourselves. We know what we're fucking doing. If we put it out, it means we meant it.
Right.
So if you complain about it, I don't know how to put this gently. We don't fucking care. This is what we're doing. I don't know what else to say. Look, this isn't the fucking Olive Garden where we have like some friendly restaurant manager, some 28-year-old kid with spiky hair who comes over and he's like, hey guys, tell you what, let's get you a delicious dessert on the house and, blah, blah, blah. We'll take 10% off your bill.
Anything.
Some guy who's trying to be GM of a fucking middling restaurant chain someday, and that's his goal. That's not what we are. Yeah. If you look at our restaurant's down a dark alley in an ethnic neighborhood of a country you've never even fucking heard of. And when you go into our restaurant, there isn't even a fucking menu. You get what's cooked for you. The thing is, though, it's fucking delicious.
Yeah.
It's going to be something great.
Great.
But if you don't like it, there's the fucking door. That's the thing, because our floor manager isn't a spiky-haired 28-year-old kid with a smile and a free dessert coupon. It's a heavy-set, hunched-over Albanian man with a blood-soaked smock and a Pall Mall hanging out of his mouth, just dangling precariously from his lips. That's what we have.
Clears his throat and spits on the floor in between your fucking order.
Exactly, and has a cleaver stuck in the counter next to him. That's our guy.
Right.
He doesn't give a fuck, and if you don't like it, he'll say, "There's door," and if you don't go, he will chop you.
Please leave before you catch cleaver.
That's what we are, and we apologize for that, but we're fucking comics.
Right. We apologize for not apologizing.
Exactly, man, because that is what it is. We're comics. We're not journalists. And we've said this a million times. We're not journalists that have to kiss your fucking ass. We're providing comedy is a different thing. If you like it, great, awesome. If you don't like it, great. There's the fucking door. That's the way it is. And so it's not like I made up a horrible story and was like, isn't that bad? And then fucking told it to you when there was a bunch of shovel rape.
Right.
It just happened like that.
I'm not so creative that I can tell you that we raped somebody with a shovel handle and then found the pickaxe. No.
We didn't
some
do it.
dickhead did that.
Exactly. So that's what it is. We do love you guys, and we want you to tweet us. We want you to tell you shit. But if you don't like something, it's not that we're like, oh, we can't take it. We don't have thin skin. It's not going to change. No, you could say anything in the world, and it will never change what we do.
You
That's
can
it.
say
We do what we do.
That was the worst show.
Doesn't matter.
We're going to go further.
That's the thing. That's the
You're
thing. When
going
you
to hear
say
a
that,
worse one.
all it makes me as a comedian, our automatic thing is to go as far contrary as we can. So if you say that was terrible, I go, you think that was bad? That's my first thought. I'll find something worse. I'll find where they shove 3 shovel handles up a guy's ass. So that's
find it where they put the spade up his ass.
It's a contrary state of mind that because we're comedians. That's all it is. That's why we're fucking comedians, because people see shit and they don't think like, why the fuck is that like that? That's stupid. That's why they're not comedians. And by the way, stop trying to be funny too, because you're not funny. You know who we think are funny? Like most comedians suck and aren't funny. We don't think we're funny, so you're definitely not funny.
I like comics that you would find fucking hateful,
horrific,
and disgusting. And
so anyway,
that's their life.
Yes. So
that's how they live.
Anyway, that's the show, and that is the whole deal. And thank you guys so much. I don't know, that was actually a thank you in a weird, fucked up way for supporting it and for being involved in it. But really, I mean, we're not going to change.
Better people,
we're not going to change. Let's get to the list of the most fantastic people, not just better people. Hit us with that list of producers. Jimmy, where is it?
This week's executive producers are Adam Thorpe, Chrissy-Ann Castaldi, and Lonnie Hall. Thank you all so much.
Thank you guys so much. And thank you, Chrissy-Ann Castaldi, for always
every
coming
year.
through for us. Thank you so
week.
much, really.
Did I say year? I said year.
It's week. You're the best,
She's
Chrissy.
terrific.
Thank you.
And she's recovering from some surgery.
I know. Sorry. Hope
Chrissy.
you feel better, Chrissy.
Katrina Bell, Aaron Allen, Stephanie Clark, Rob Madursky, who brought his daughter. Remember them? They're fantastic people.
That was so
Rob.
cool. Nice to meet you, dude.
Jesse Hartman, fucking no.
Got a good one?
Rurid Gald.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
Rarita?
No. That sounds like a place where a biblical battle was fought.
Ruridard.
In Ruridard, yes. There was a biblical battle where.
Nope. Christy Busby, William McClellan, Bill he's in Scotland.
Yes.
And he sent us $0, and that's what showed up.
That was awesome. I think he sent us a penny the one day.
I don't know.
It was like, all right, thanks, dude.
That's an interesting way of sending a donation. 0.
Hey, whatever. You were thinking about us, and that's what's important to us.
I appreciate
Thank
it,
you.
Bill.
Thanks for the thought, brother.
Sarah Beth Yolkins. Yolkins.
Yeah.
Ashley
the
Vio.
first time.
Ashley VIEAUOX. It's VO. That's all that is.
VO?
It's just Ashley
That's
VO.
so much easier than we made it out to be.
We should just fucking change it. Yeah.
We want to pronounce it right.
Right. Katie Heisel, Nikki Kisseleff.
Hey.
Katie Heisel's the one that makes the maps over on Twitter.
Best.
She's fantastic.
Yeah, we love
Thank you,
Katie. Thanks, Katie.
Nikki Kisseleff. I think that's right. Margie Kunze. She's fantastic.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Margie. She's been with us for so long. Supporting us.
Robert
She's the best.
Robert Burns has been too. Kyle Biggs. Sarah Toasty. Toasty
I
or
like
Toast?
Toasty.
I don't know.
That sounds
damn it.
both delicious and warm.
I'm fucking dumb. Dan Chapman, Sarah Reichert, Joseph McGlynn, Nikki Cofield, Jerome Cernuski, CZ,
Fucking damn it.
Sir
Whiskey.
Sir Whiskey's here. Everybody.
Thanks, Jerome. Chastity Irwin, Sean Hartley, Craig Riley, Kimberly Thomas, Laura Blakesley. Thank you, Laura. Jacqueline Howard, Emmy Dumont. Stephen Mace wanted to wish a happy birthday to Stephen Sr., who was his father, obviously.
Happy birthday, Steve Sr.
And Dave. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Yes,
happy birthday. Fucking, you're welcome, Stephen. Allison Hilliard, Adriana Maggs, Shannon Stoika, Sarah Hogan, Craig McGeechan, Guy Rilu. Guy, your last name is
Come on,
fucked up, Guy.
Get together.
Steve Schnell in Philly. Thank you, Steve. You're a hell of a dude.
We always love you, brother.
Under the Sea Fabrics, Chloe Baldock, Larissa Pavlov, like the dog, or like his dog.
The man who had the dog.
Who owned the dog.
Yes.
Larissa Pavlov.
There you go.
Derek Hillenberg, Sam Lund, Heather Every, Brett Scott. Brett Scott is the coolest name. I hope
that is pretty cool.
It's like
sounds like tough.
It sounds like
cool.
what the doc would yell at Marty. Like Greg Scott. I hope people just would go, Brett Scott.
Brett Scott sounds like a handsome dude.
Yeah, he does.
How you doing? Brett Scott here.
I hope he looks terrible.
Yeah, I hope he's an awful looking man. Hope you're in
very
terrible
unfortunate.
shape. Terrible shape, Brett. We hope you are.
Jake LeBeer, sticking around. Thank you.
Thanks,
Tyler
man.
Hawk. Yes, Hawk. Adelaide Copeland, Amanda Windsor, Terry Burgess, Jess Landgren, and she sent you a birthday gift.
Yes, thank you so
Jess.
much, Jess Landgren. We appreciate it. That was
all the
so
way from
cool.
Australia.
Yeah, I ate all that chocolate very quickly, and I loved it, and I like the rugby hat. It's cool shit. Thank you so much, Jessica, for thinking about me. I appreciate
Rochelle
it.
Ann, Zach Defecate? No. Fuck, did I say that?
You did say that out loud. That's what came out. It wasn't your fault. I didn't try to.
It's Dave Ficciani.
Hey, that is way different than defecate.
I write like an asshole is what I do. Emma Cossin, yes. Ashley Lavati, Lavatai. Juliana Chaudry, Ingrid Stokes. She sent money from North Korea.
North Korea
Norway,
bucks. Yeah.
And she made a joke on PayPal about the North Korea bucks, and they held the funds and wouldn't let her send.
Oh my God, Jesus!
Isn't that awesome? Katie Turner, Chance Cole, Nicole Adams, Brittany McDonald, Kensworth Slater, Brandy Dunkel, Bryant Toole, Timothy Smith, Rana Abshir, Michael Army, that's easy. Laura Kopp, thank you, Laura. Eric Langenecker. Yes. Alicia Yabara, graphicstrategist.com. I'm not sure what that is. Hunker Downcast? I don't know what that is.
It sounds like a podcast.
Might be.
Maybe.
Greg Dangerfield, Laura Culpepper, Kate Myers, and Tyler Hales. Thank you guys so much for everything you do for us.
Honestly.
It's fucking unbelievably appreciated and understated, I guess. I don't know.
Under something.
It
can't be stated enough, so it has to be, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
Truly.
Thanks
for being here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging with us.
Thanks for helping us make this studio a fucking
incredible.
thing. This is incredible, and we can't thank you enough, honestly. Thank you. What if one of these people wanted to tell you what you're doing wrong, Jimmy? How could they do that?
You can tell me I'm a piece of shit at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Show me a juicer.
That's right.
What about you?
Yeah, definitely send Jimmy pics of your juicer from now on. Tell me about your juicer. Just give him a whole rundown of its power specs and everything like that. You can find me and tell me what I'm doing wrong and what I should be doing better, and fucking what you think that should be different at Jimmy P is funny, or you can just copy and paste my last name from the show description, because honestly it's really, really hard to spell. Do that. Come back and see us again next week, where we're going to have a crazy ass story, and we'll have a regular length episode next week also. Actually, this one turned out to be pretty long anyway.
This was normal length.
Almost normal length, so, because we got rambling, and that's what we do. We're trying to go short here. Yeah. This is what ends up happening. So anyway, thank you folks so much for all of that. Until next week, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.